Welcome, listeners. You're tuned into GFM
Let the words of thy mouth and the
96.6
meditation of
FM.
thy heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Most High Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where thy voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. Rastafari is the lily of the valley. Aye, aye. Rastafari is the bright and morning star. In them there's a tabernacle set for the sun, which has a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit upon the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. Lightning. Everyone should know. Everyone should know. Everyone should know. Oh, Rastafari. The law of the Most High is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Most High is true, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Most High are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Most High is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Most High is clear, enduring forever. The judgments of the Most High are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, more than much fine gold. Sweeter also than the honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over I. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgressions. Selassie. Everyone should know. Everyone should know. Rock it. Oh, Rastafari. Let the words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be acceptable in thy sight. O Most High, I strength and I redeemer. Selassie. Aya Inge. Paradise, bright and morning star. Glory to word, glory to sound, glory to the power of the Most High, His Imperial Majesty and Bride, Selassie, Empress Melanai. Aye.
Good afternoon, listeners. You are tuned into GFM 96.6 FM.
This is the twice as nice.
Plenty of spice.
Twice as nice.
Yes. We are here again this Saturday, this lovely day. We are here. Everybody a rush.
Yeah, well, sun's
Well, not
shining.
me.
Well,
Sunshine, and you'll be surprised what you can do in a couple of hours.
Of course.
Boy.
Of course. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to this Twice as Nice show, end of the month, Saturday the 30th. How's everyone doing? Sister B?
I'm okay. You know what? I have to give thanks, sunshine on a beautiful Saturday, and it's a bank holiday weekend. So, of course, I am definitely glad for that. The extra little bit of break to get and do what you need to get done, or have that little bit of a rest. So, yeah. Brother Wayne?
Well, me personally, rough month.
What do you mean rough month? You're just going to just drop it like just rough month? And that's
Well,
it?
bottom line, it's just been up and down. Started well in regards to various objectives, but they got thwarted. So refresh, come back again for this coming month.
Okay. First of all, we just want to kick off and say thank you to DJ H for her show from the Groove Theory from 12 to 2. So yes, and she couldn't wait to say that she is flying off, and I don't blame her.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Wow.
of course. I could do with a holiday to be
Tell me
honest
about
with
it.
you.
Me too.
Yeah, but we just have to just wait until such time. So you are tuned into the Twice as Nice show. Everything nice as usual. So remember, you can contact us, telephone the studio on 01452 546 400.
Or you can text 60066. Start your message with GFM.
If you prefer email, that'd be studio@gloucesterfm.com.
Okay, so we have got a full packed show today. Want to send out apologies. Sister Ebony cannot be with us today. I hope she's listening and will interact with the show today as much as she can. Yes, Sister Ebony, you are missed. So we've got a full show today, team. We have some very various topics that we're going to be talking about. Hopefully, we will be doing a live call to a new artist, up and coming, out of Nigeria. Album got released last month, March the 25th. So we're going to try and do a live call. So just bear with me. It's going to be my first time.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Of course it's
Looking
gonna-
forward to this one.
Of
Yeah.
course, it's going to be interesting. It's always interesting, and I'm sure you don't know. So we will try our best to keep the community, entertained on this wonderful Saturday afternoon. I'm sure most of you may be out in your garden, cutting the grass and doing as much as you can because we got the bank holiday.
Exactly.
Yay! It's always nice to have an extra day where you don't have to go to work. So. Right, so the tune you just heard play was from Queen Africa, and we have to do a little chanting. And first and foremost, we always have to give the Most Highest praise, and just giving the Most High his thanks for taking us through the week. I heard about the accident of that person who died on their bicycle.
By the KFC.
Yeah, by KFC.
Yeah.
Young person, apparently, only 41 years old.
Oh dear.
So,
That's
very
sad.
Yeah, of course.
Condolences.
So, we can't take nothing for granted because, none of us is not guaranteed a tomorrow. So while we have life and we have our health and strength, let's give God his thanks and praise for that because, when the praises go up, the blessings always come down. So I just want to start off that the Most High will bless this show, bless the three of us in the studio, and of course Sister Ebony as well.
Yeah.
She may not be here now, but she's still part of our crew.
Oh yes, definitely, and she definitely is missed.
Of course.
Yeah.
So we always have to just always open the show with the praises unto the Most High, because we have to acknowledge him first and foremost. Right. So we have some topics talking about. We're going to touch briefly again with knife crime because it was such a good response from our last show. And we just kind of feel that we had to just kind of touch base with that. And it's quite sad that, unfortunately, since our last show, there has been other stabbings.
Yeah.
And we really have to say what are going on, for real. What really are going on? Because, what's going on.
And it's to remember that there are sort of groups out there trying to support and trying to tackle this. And as a community, we shouldn't really just wait until we hear about another incident, another young one lost. We need to obviously get involved and find out what's going on there, so we can obviously support as a community with what's actually going on to try and prevent and save lives, really. Basically, that's what it's all about.
I mean, last time we kind of touched on quite a lot of things, like, we kind of push out a lot of suggestions out there, and we're saying maybe this is needed, that is needed. So we just want to just kind of bring it from there. Hence, Brother Wayne, what would you like to interrupt? You'd like to put something there?
That's meant to be an underground move.
not underground.
Not public. That's too transparent. No, I just wanted to highlight that in regards to the community well-being, such as knife crime, etc., because it's just not just knife crime. You find that it's all linked in some form or the other throughout the community. And what we really have to do is get down to the forms of accountability from the grassroots, ground-based level, and then just
when you say accountability, Brother Wayne, I mean, you're going to have to stretch that a little bit. Accountability from who? From the person who's committing the action, the action towards another person, or are we talking about accountability for what the government and what the local councils are doing or not doing, or are we saying the parents accountable for? I know we cannot control our children once they leave that front door, but who? Just be a little bit more specific. Sorry, Brother Wayne.
No, that's fine. At the end of the day, that was just an opener, just a general overview, high level.
Bird's eye view.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's good that you actually bring up that point, because I personally try to look at these things from different levels. You just went through levels. So what we have is individual personal responsibility. Yeah. And then you have what you call family responsibility, and that dynamic, very important. Okay. That then moves up to the community level, and then what you've got local government level, only from the point of view these are our constraints, which then moves up to the national level, and then likewise when you're talking, as an example, it's very, very interesting how things are connected, and you have these knock-on effects,
of course.
And it is quite webbed, so you have to just pick at a string. Not to get too overwhelmed, and just try and work it through from a logical perspective. As a point, in case you have, we're talking about our well-being, our youth well-being, but in the same breath, I think we've got that down as a subject matter. Just the general attack that you got going on at the moment by the UK government on our Jamaican heritage and our Jamaican people and our roots. And you can bring that all the way down to local policy and the overall mentality that is induced negatively within the community, this country as a whole, and worldwide actually, because they do have an influence in foreign policy, too much of influence in my opinion.
So what do you think is sort of the best angle to say, like, attack it, or the best approach? Where you might get some barriers knocked down? Because we know obviously with the whole government thing, that's a different ballgame. That's a long process. It's not going to be just done overnight. Is there something that we you think that should be heading in first of all?
Yeah, any process. Firstly, on that note, any process is long if it's not given its due respect, and therefore what you'll have is a general demeaning of the situation. You only have to look at current affairs at this present point in time and look at when government, call it, do kind of are in favor of a situation, then put all that support into that situation, and obviously you can see the effect that once they do that, you see how that dribbles through to the community. You see how that, and so what they're calling now is that, do I have to expand? You've got an idea of what I'm talking about, and the general current affairs. And
Yeah, but the thing though, Brother Wayne, is
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying,
Mhm.
but I mean, can we really rely on the government
no, not at all.
to engage or support the cause of knife crime within our community?
Not
It's,
at all.
it's not happening. I don't see it happening.
Not at all.
And it's not just Gloucester I'm talking about. I'm talking about within the UK. Obviously, the inner cities, London and Birmingham, Manchester. This has been going on for years. So if the government really haven't implemented so much, they've not implemented not so much at this time, we can't rely on them. That's why I'm always going to go back to the roots of go back to basics, as in we as a community, we as a race. Yeah, I know we've got the most power, believe it or not. That's what I feel. Yes, I know there's boundaries, as we just discussed, but if we're going to always sit back as a community, and I say this to myself, I'm not just saying it to just the public. I'm saying it to myself, because we are, as you said, we have to take ownership and responsibilities. So the responsibility, as far as I'm concerned, as a parent, it starts from within the home.
Can I just cut you on that one?
Yes,
not
of course.
cut you.
Just come on in, Brother Wayne.
Just wall up, liquor.
Yeah, wall up, liquor.
Only from the perspective that, again, what we got to try and do is structure it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go back to what I said before, which is that you've got different levels, right? So you've got the individual responsibility.
Of course.
Okay, so individual, if you're going to be looking at individual, just roughly, and you've got a young one, you've got his surrounding dynamics, her surrounding dynamics as they're growing. But then you've got their educational format and their value system, and now that's kind of enhanced and put forward. I think it's fair enough to say that that's quite wishy-washy as it stands. There's no solid structure in regards to the development of the youngers, as it were.
Well,
in my opinion.
Okay, I respect that. That's your opinion, but that's that. The minute you said that wishy-washy and there's no substance.
Yeah.
That's a shame, isn't it? You know, I mean, it's kind of like, well, if it's coming from the individual. And then by the time you filter everything down, as you say, the education system, the individual value and everything else, the person themselves, and then it ends up wishy-washy, then something's wrong with that picture there, isn't it?
Well, of course, because what you have, all right, just look at the development then from maybe go back from the 70s through to the 80s through to the 90s. And you have to look at it from the point of view that you've had policies that have been in place to deal with various aspects across the board, but in this case, within the community, within the youth, or targeted to the youth, yeah? Okay. Well, what's the policy today? Just working presently backwards forward, backwards to go forward. What is the policy? Is there one? Is there any effect? I mean, all I basically see at this point in time is that we have no community layer that's been eroded in regards to youth support, youth development, youth anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Then what you have is a synthetic layer put in place called the police force. Okay. As I don't know what they are. I don't know what the gain benefit is, but the power from the community has been put in their lap ultimately. And to me, that's just sterile and dead and going nowhere.
Well, I didn't know that the power, to be honest with you, I didn't know as you just said it, like the power has been put into the police hands. For them, for the what?
Nothing, because
for real,
they
though.
have no remit.
No, but for real though, I mean, sorry for me for being a little bit naive, if that's the word. But what power have they been given for them to improve the community, especially where young people's concerned? What power have they been given that I don't know about?
No, they've been empowered, but not. Well, in improvement aspects is another question all along. And this is my point. There ain't no improvement, in my opinion. And I think we can easily go through and prove it. And this is the point. This is what I'm talking about: accountability. Okay,
accountability
okay,
right, yeah.
as one layer. This is a community layer. The point being is that you have. What do you call them then? People, community support officers. What are they
community support officers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's their agenda? What is their remit? Why are they in place?
Well, to be quite honest with you, brother Wayne,
It's to police the
You
young
got me.
one. It's to police the
it's
youth.
to police.
Right.
Well, it's to serve the community.
It's to police the youth.
Is that what they're specifically for?
I'm
Look, I'm at me a la stutter to police the youth.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because
It don't make no
you can't do
sense.
that, and it's all about. Sounds like a form of control thing on every aspect.
Because that's
of
what
stuff.
it is. I'm calling it for
Okay,
what it
yeah.
is. You can have something. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, and then you put the thing in play, and what it does, you kind of verify it on its outcome. Please show me the outcome.
Well, maybe we need to get somebody in from. Definitely get somebody from the police community service and explain to us and the community what it is that you have been empowered or you've been given the task to do where the community is concerned and where young people is concerned. And I'd like to know what is their agenda, what is their criteria.
Appreciate it. I would say that approach is not necessarily the most effective.
What, to get them into to action?
Yeah,
what,
correct. I've heard various councillors and people come in and basically what happens is that we're not fully prepared, or in my opinion, they're not questioned on the right points or facts of the matter. Okay, so what we need to do, in my opinion, is actually do our own research and take, i.e., from the perspective that the fact of the matter would be this: you look at the policy, you look at the overall arc in regards to the remit of the, what do you call them, special, what they call special constables, community officers. That's right, community support officers, what they're all about. But are they not under the direct remit of the police?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so this is the connectivity I'm talking about in regards to the police, obviously having right. And so what you're surrounded by is just naturally that format, which is a police authoritarian remit on the street with no other layer of community support, in my opinion. I see very little of it. Isn't that a case where the community services, what were, are no longer? That's been eroded for whatever reason. But the case is that as opposed to, you would have thought that there would be an enhancement of community services. Naturally, with community development, it's going the opposite way. Okay, in my opinion, that's what I see.
Yeah, I feel you, Brother Wayne. I feel you, Brother Wayne. It's just I almost feel in this here and now, I almost feel disheartened.
Yeah, it does feel a bit like that.
I feel disheartened.
You're never gonna get
because it's almost like
problem.
It's like you're digging out of a hole, and every time you take one shovel out of dirt, there's another shovel, two shovels of dirt coming back in.
We've always been digging in the wrong hole. That's the point.
Well, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to not even be in a hole. We're just trying to create a foundation for ourselves, our community, our children. I've got children and I've got grandchildren. Okay, my boys are grown, but I've got grandchildren. So this is why I'm concerned, because, the mentality of sometimes you might not be involved in, I don't want to use the word gang because I don't even think that word's even used nowadays. But, you're not even involved in the street side of things, but you can get caught up with it just being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And innocent people that are, obviously I don't know everyone and I don't know what people are like behind closed doors. But like I said, the young man who got stabbed since our show, which I know of, and I'm not going to be calling no names, as far as I am aware, he's a good brother. Do you know what I mean? He ain't out there troubling nobody as such. Do you know what I mean? Young people are young people. They're always going to have some kind of altercation or something. Because, you have to remember,
you're young, you're finding yourself. You're finding your grounding.
But to the extreme where you're going to think, you're going to actually use a weapon to then enforce that weapon upon another human being and having no consciousness for even the thought of thinking, okay, all right, if I juke them in their finger, at least they're going to live, because unless you cut an artery on your wrist, the chances are. But then to go and do something where you're pushing a knife into somebody's body, not being nowhere conscious to say, okay, it could hit one of their vital organs, or it could hit an organ where they will need healthcare for the rest of their lives. You know, the thoughts are not there. And it just seems so disheartening that, as I said, you could be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And this mentality, to me, as you said, there's lots of, it's almost like, it's not even like a banana. Because because banana only got one skin. But when you peel a banana, you can't just peel the whole banana one time. Like pull one and the whole come down.
It's like an onion. It's got so many layers. Yeah. You keep peeling, and then somehow it seems to be taking forever to get to the middle, to the root of it. You just continue to keep peeling the onion, and every time you peel a layer, you cry.
Wow. That's a good metaphor, Sister Becky. That's a good
That's
metaphor.
how I'm looking at it. Me mentally, that's how I have to physically, put it down like that. Because it is just like it's continually, we always keep striving, always keep fighting this same thing. But I think personally, we need to start doing a little campaign for Brother Wynne, for Councillor, for Gloucester, for Casato.
Yeah, we need to. Well, I think you hit the key note there, Sister B. We need some kind of campaign, because the thing is, even though we or others may sit back and think, oh, this has got nothing to do with me, my kids are grown, or it doesn't affect me. The thing is,
it does.
It does.
It sure does.
I'm sorry, but it does.
It does.
Yeah, your kids might be grown and everything else like that. But it's our community.
Yeah.
And even if you're saying at this present time, it's got nothing to do with me, we are all, while God give us life and we're all breathing, we will all age. Nobody gets younger. So you might not feel the effect of what's going on now. If we don't do something now for our people, for our race, for our youth, then in 30 years' time, God bless us to see a maturer age in life. There's no point you saying, oh, me too afraid for what down the road, because them make me feel scared and ting a gone and blah, 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 and dip. And the amount of funerals we're going to is I can't even go there. You know what I'm saying? So, families that are feeling pain and sorrow, the loss of their daughters and sons, and friends who are losing their friends through this way, and the psyche of it. So one way or another, whether it's a physical or it's a psychological, it is our concern.
Yeah, of course.
Because who else are we going to say we're going to knock on the door and say, please do something about it? If we cannot even help ourselves, why are we expecting others to help us?
But it's all generational as well. So it might not hit. You might not feel it now, but what happens about your kids? Their kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids. Do you see what I mean? It all has a knock-on effect, just like that onion bit. It just keeps going. The cycle keeps going, just round and round and round.
I think possibly, not even possibly. I think there's a necessity for an action group with a specific agenda to deal with these issues and be a supportive voice for the community as a whole. So therefore, individual members can feed into that group, be part of that group, and likewise, it empower our community to then hold the police and the council accountable.
Yeah.
And this is what I honestly feel is lacking. I don't even know what I have to say honestly, but factually, I believe that there is a lack there. They have a duty of care. And this is what we keep missing. And if you have this overture where as soon as there's an issue, it's all of a sudden, in a certain respects, the parents' fault, or the community in effect is left to deal with it to themselves, with not, but in the same breath, not even being empowered, if you understand, to then be able to deal with it yourself, and this is the connectivity aspect.
Okay, I'm with you now, Brother Wayne. I'm with you now, Brother
So
Wayne.
everything's connected in that respect.
Yes.
And I think when we're talking about base foundation, the base foundation will be, well, when I'm talking about in regards to looking at the council, you don't have to go ask them. They publish this stuff. right? It's all out there.
Yeah, reports, isn't it?
And all there you go, all the regulations, their process procedures, it's there, it's public. And if it's not, you can FOI and get all that relevant information. We have to be playing a far smarter and higher level intelligent game at the end of the day. And I think that's part of the problem. If you don't deal with the matter in the necessary language that these people understand, right, or understand, you're not going to get anywhere. Honestly, we see it all the time. What happens is that you'll just put on the merry-go-round and then just keep spinning the wheel, and that's it. And this is the reason why you would have, 1985, a certain instance, and some some fluff. Yeah, move it on 1995. And all this time things are getting worse. Okay, and you have some more fluff. 2005 and all the way through. Yeah, it's fluff. There's no change. If you can chart that things are getting worse, right? Yeah. And likewise, what is the future?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly why we are saying this today.
Okay.
And as you said, Brother Wayne, action group. I think yes, I know you was gonna say, but for real though.
I look upon you with wide eye,
No, because at the end of the day, you said it, and I'll be there supporting you 100.
Well, this is what it's about.
I think, as you said, an action group where or any individual can just chirp in and give their comments or give their suggestions and ideas. But as we said from the last show, is something that needs to happen, because, as you said, the government, the police, and what they're doing, they've shirted around it, as you said. But I think you would be a great mentor, Brother Wayne.
Thank you very much.
I know your cup overfloweth.
And spokesperson for the community.
I know your cup overfloweth and everything, because I know you're a very busy man. But we just have to find that time within ourselves.
But then again, as well, it's not on one person. One person might have the thought, but it's for so many people to come together as a team to say, right, we're gonna build up on this and support you, and we'll take lead in this and you take lead in that, and it's the community has to come together as a team.
Yeah.
Well, this is the point, and that's what I was going to get onto. It's not about individuals.
Yeah,
it's ultimately about all the individuals, because there's some collectives, and that's what we're dealing with all your skill set. We've got people within our community that are that's so skilled, got so much value add, to bring. And it is really trying to appeal, to all the necessary individuals for their input at the end of the day. So we have to. So
this is actually what you're doing now, then, Brother Wayne.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yes, sending out an appeal to all those. That feel that they can contribute to the cause, for our people. Then kind of like get in touch.
That's right, and it's over all the various subject matters, because it doesn't have to be one specific ultimately.
No, but we have to deal. Definitely, it's a wide variety of things, but we have to just kind of tackle one thing at a time, as much as we can, and then once we feel that we've kind of reached a place where we're comfortable and we've achieved, then we can start looking on other things. So I think the problem with looking at too much things at once is you can get sidetracked or not do enough and all that, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. It's not so much about getting sidetracked. I appreciate what you're saying, but then also what we want to do is, in my opinion again,
always your opinion, Brother Wayne,
because it's just a base foundation. Just just give a full scope of the areas that we
needs looking at.
And not, definitely not positive, negative. And it is that. And even how we think about issues, at the end of the day, there's a mantra where we don't have problems, we have solutions. Okay,
I like that.
And it's being able to develop our state of mind and our perception, our thoughts into something that's not. It's got positive belief and looking for positive outcomes. We're not dealing with the negative realm and negative vibrations. You're not going to get very far with that. But in the same breath, when you're working with certain governments and community organized agendas, that, you know, and you go around and it doesn't actually affect any change, that in itself is a negative impact to the community.
Of course, if there's no change, then it speaks for itself. And I will always remember your words, Brother Wayne. If something is not working for you, change it.
That's right.
Because there's no point investing 5, 10, 15, 20 years doing the same thing and it's not working. Then you have to be realistic with oneself and think, you know what, I've put in enough, and that's as much as I'm going to drain out this, you know, this empty bucket with holes in the bottom.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I was trying to think of a metaphor.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
No, but for real though, as you said, but we got to just, and we have to keep talking about it. As I said, we've got to keep talking about it. We have to come up with suggestions, ideas, and everything else.
Absolutely.
And maybe it's something that we could, you know, not even maybe, it's something that we can focus on to achieve for 2022. And even if we just start, yeah. That's what I'm saying, just to make the start.
Absolutely. As an example, starting to work. I don't want to get into this tip talking about stuff until it's live. This is a problem when you chat. However, a little preview. Working with a group at the moment. They're an educational group, Black, within this country here. And likewise working with other groups that are looking at cross international trade and various programs with Africa, Ghana and various other countries, Kenya and so forth. Okay, and it's kind of tying in with the African Union and other groups. So there's quite a lot going on there. So as a point, in regards to the youth, they're talking about training. There's a skill set shortage, so they're talking about training youngers here, and there's a lot of diasporans going back to Africa. Stay. Doesn't have to be like that. Some basically setting up businesses here and feeding it back from, you know, here, UK. What I mean by feed, you've got international cross trade, importation, exportation. So as opposed to the realm where that you would be, they're exporting raw goods as such, they're looking at actually the production, doing it there, and the increased value you've got there, and they're screaming out for skill sets along with the skill sets they've already got in Africa. So you can have, you know, when they do those youth programs where they will, you get a lot of value when the young person is introduced into another environment, even if it's for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, with a specific outcome. It's outcome led from that point of view. So it's programs down that kind of that nature, in effect.
Okay.
And considering we was only briefly gonna just touch on knife crime, boy, we just went in, right?
Didn't we just?
We need a breather. We need to play a track or something, man.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So let's just put on a track, and
of course, listeners, you know, you can get involved in the show today. So by all means, give us a call. We're on, so it's call the studio on 01452 546 400.
You can text 600 666, start the message with GFM. And then likewise, you can email studio@gloucesterfm.com. But just on the note of calling in, it is a community interactive program. So please call in with your views. It's pointless just having ours. And yours is very, very much appreciated. Thank you.
From the bottomless pit, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever have redemption songs, redemption songs. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just
GFM, drop it like it's hot.
Got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs, redemption songs, redemption songs. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Oh, have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop at the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Yes, some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs. All I ever had, redemption songs. These songs of freedom, songs of freedom.
GFM, serving the community.
You're too rude.
We're just sticking to the good old Bob Marley because, you know, sometimes we have to take it back to these songs and listen to the words. We are on a spiritual and a conscious level today, and we're just trying to bring you good vibes only.
Oh, what a rat race. This is the rat race. Rat race, rat race. A summer love summer, a summer boss summer, a summer jack summer. Oh, what a rat race. Yeah. Rat race. A summer gorgona, a summer hooligan, a summer guinea gaga. In this year rat race, yeah. Rat race. I'm singing that when the cat's away, the mice will play. Political violence fill your city, yeah. Don't involve Rasta in your say. Rasta don't work for no CIA. Rat race, rat race, rat race, yeah. Rat race. I'm saying, when you think it's peace and safety, a sudden destruction, collective security for surety, yeah. Don't forget your history, know your destiny. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Rat race, rat race.
Yeah.
rat race, rat race. Oh, it's a disgrace to see the human race in a rat race, rat race. You got a horse race, you got a dog race, you got a human race, but this is a rat race.
You are tuned in to Saturday Twice as Nice show, GFM 96.6. Keep it locked. Welcome back, listeners. You are tuned into GFM 96.6 FM. You are here with Twice as Nice crew.
Loving the new little jingle too. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Well, you know how it goes, sister. You know how it go. Yeah. Well, you're here with I, Sister Black is Beautiful, Sister Ebony, and Brother Wayne. And if you just joined us, we was just kind of touching on knife crime. I know we've talked about it before, but we just felt it was a necessity to come back and, just rebrief. And I think we will come back again. So until we reach out to the community, the youngers, to encourage them and just support them in every way, we will not stop.
Yeah, and
we
it's
cannot stop.
Yeah, it's something I think that's obviously got to continue, keep being repeated. It doesn't go out of mind.
No.
Not out of sight, out of mind. It has to be continually keep being brought up to the forefront. So we're constantly recognizing it, not waiting to go in forefront with stuff when we hear about another youth has lost their lives, basically.
I mean, fortunately for the young gentleman who I know of, they didn't lose their lives, so they were injured. So praise be unto God. But yeah, just like how it is with Black Lives Matter, I think that speaks for itself with our youth and knife crime. So the songs that we played was Redemption Song and Rat Race by the famous Rest in Peace Bob Marley. Sometimes we, some of the tunes, because we have so much different genres, but sometimes you need a little consciousness, a little idleness. You know what I mean? It's almost like when you drink your little sorrel and your little pick-me-up tea and all them kind of something. We need that. We need the psyche to be fed as well. So I just want to read a little poem by Dorothy Law Noti, I believe how you say this. So little poem, and it's to do with children. So if a child lives with criticism, they learn to condemn. If they live with hostility, they learn to fight. If they live with fear, they learn to be apprehensive. If they live with pity, they learn to feel sorry for themselves. If they live with ridicule, they learn to be shy. If they live with jealousy, they learn how to be envious. If they live with shame, they learn to feel guilty. If they live with encouragement, they learn to be confident. If they live with tolerance, they learn to be patient. If they live with praise, they learn to be appreciative. If they live with approval, they learn to like themselves. If they live with recognition, they learn that that it is good to have a goal. If they live with sharing, they learn generosity. If they live with honesty and fairness, they learn truth and justice. If they live with security, they learn to have inner faith. If they live with friendliness, they learn the world is actually a nice place to live in. And if they live with sincerity, the child will live with peace of mind. So, as we
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, very
for
good.
real. So, brought to that poem. We are all responsible if we are parents, whether we are aunties, godmothers, godfathers, uncles. Let's go back to how it was. Some things are not, some things are good to keep and some things are not good to keep. And while I've lived and I've seen certain things, I can appreciate certain things. So, some of the old things that my parents them, like the community used to raise the child, growing up, when I stepped out my front door, even though I knew that I was out of my mother and father's eyesight, if I saw Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so who was round the corner up the road and I was doing something that I wasn't supposed to be doing,
It's that run like thief.
you better believe it. You better know, say you better not make them see you do it, because you don't know, say that your parents are going to find out. And not only that, but the person who saw you would reprimand you
Yeah.
and tell you off. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't those days where you're going to backchat that big person.
You mad?
Are you crazy? Imagine if I did backchat Mrs. Williams and what a guana and all them kind of something in her face. Before me even reach back on my yard, my mother would be out there on the pavement, hand on hip,
Yeah.
ready for me. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm saying about bring back certain old school things, old time things, like, yeah, for real. I know it's different times and I know the youths are different, but we have to do something to save ourselves, because if not, we will, I'm telling you this now, whether you want to believe me or not, we will become extinct like our dinosaurs became extinct, because everything is just washing. And before you notice them, we soon wash ourselves out.
Yeah.
And I'm not even trying to do that for me and my people, them, for real, at all. Because like I said, I know that we are coming from a high place we came from the beginning. So let's never forget that, because you have to know where you're coming from to know where you're going.
That's true.
For real.
I remember what Frederick Douglass, what he quoted. Sorry, I have to bring it back because you made me remember what he said. It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men and women.
Say that again.
It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men and women.
There you go. So let's learn from our past. You know what I mean? Because our future is our future. And I'm sure all of us, I don't know anybody who doesn't want a bright future. So we just have to just keep striving and keep pushing and continuing as we are. And that's all we can do. You can only do the best of your capability. You know, you ain't watching nobody else. You're just staying in your lane and doing as much as you can. And hopefully collectively we can come together and do something great.
And your ability, sometimes we have to hold our hands up and say, actually, I don't think I'm doing this 100%. Ask for that help. Ask for that support. Find out. Learn a different way of skill to actually adapt as to dealing with the children. Because as you said, the children are changing. It's not like it was back in the day where you just got a look and you had to behave yourself. These days, you can give the look and they just like, well, what are you looking at? Do you see what I mean? So it's like adapting or finding different ways of challenging.
And to be able to communicate as well, because we know times are changing. We can't stop that. That's inevitable. So yes, the youth is a different time they're living in. But as we said, the values will take you everywhere in life. Whatever your values are and your morals, whether you're conscious about them or not, they walk with you and they talk with you. So it's about empowering ourselves to empower our youth so that, you know, that we just build ourselves up. It's not going to happen overnight, but we got to make a start somewhere. And it's no point leaving it to the other person and everything else. And we know that we're going to be faced with challenge because challenge is around us all the time. But we have to find a way to bridge that gap. We have to find a way to break down the barriers that we've created. Some of the barriers we've created within ourselves. You know, fear is one of them. You know, we're fearing our own young people. Which to me, that's a mad psyche. I can't even register that.
Or you have it where the you wouldn't realize it, but when you look at it in some aspects, the child is bullying the parent. The parent then is frightened of actually reprimanding the child
and disciplining the child.
That's right. So it's all coming back down to morals, principles, and values.
Exactly. And you know, if you find yourself in a situation like that where, dear Jesus, where you're not, no, for real, dude.
We know who control whose household.
You have to know the dynamics, psychodynamics.
Yeah.
Right. Is it Carl Rogers or was it Freud? You have to distinguish who the parent and the child.
Well,
I'm
it's
just dealing with psychology
yeah,
there.
there's different
Yeah.
But
aspects. There's different aspects of how the child grows up.
distinguished naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you
We don't need Freud. to tell you
no.
that.
But what I'm trying to say is, yeah, we know, brother William. But what I'm just to pick up on what Sister Becky just said, you know, where there is people out there where they actually are scared of their children.
Yeah, absolutely.
The children is running things
Appreciate
within their own. And you know, I mean, I might sit here and say, "Dear Jesus," because I can't imagine that ever being a situation. Dear Jesus, I will ever have to. No, for real though. No, because you know I'm on air and I don't want to say certain things. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
you
you have to just hold your tongue a minute.
Yeah,
Just
but things have
breathe.
they have changed though again
Yeah,
because
times have
you've got
changed.
this. Well,
Nobody said about the law, brother William.
what law? We get well
But the
ultimately.
law where the child can.
No. Well, that have obviously had an effect. We've seen that live. That effect.
Yeah.
What 11-year-old you? I can tell you about kick court. Yeah, and don't bother trouble me.
And the Magolian dog and the same
And
bed
said
which
right
you
after
provide and
well,
eat
I
the same
did
food
after.
which you provide.
Thank you. Yeah.
That now go on.
Right, well,
Certain, but we see the
it's been
problem
running
is
though, hasn't it?
what we seem to have done is we seem to have forgotten. It's not everything that them serve and said this is the law. This is what it should be. It's not everything we feel pick up and take upon ourselves.
Well, you see, when
Because-
you say, look, this is what I'm on about, right? It's gone to pot, right? It's just foolishness we are dealing with. You understand? Straight to the
Yeah,
point.
but also it's
Yeah.
like sorry, I'm cutting you in, but it's the point where certain how would I say it? Certain ways of reprimanding your children back in the day was okay. Those children who got reprimanded in a certain way these days might take that and look at it a different way and say that was a form of abuse.
Yeah,
Do you understand me? Not as in a discipline. So therefore, there's some parents at this time now say, I can't really do that because they're going to pull me up and say, oh, I'm abusing my child. Do you see what I mean?
Mhm.
Whereas you might look at it, well, it didn't hurt me to get the rod. Do you know what I mean? So, sorry, that's what I would just,
No,
it just
I
come to my
appreciate it.
forefront.
Yeah.
Look, there's obvious positives out of it, even though it could do with. Well,
Say
there was a need for, call it refining.
Yeah. Is that the etiquette word? Yeah.
It needed refinement, right? At the end of the day, but then the refining, and now there's going the total opposite way, where you lose the critical values that are needed. Well, what about that then? And more to the point, remember, again, we're working with, we're trying to, because what I'm trying to say is that we have a culture, we come from a certain cultural belief system and operation.
I'm glad you said operation. Bearing in mind some of the stuff, we're not condoning some of the operations that was conducted.
Not necessarily,
because some of them was a bit harsh.
But then what you have to do, being fair, because then in effect what you're doing is attacking our in effect it's a negative impact on our parents, right?
I get what you're saying,
right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that.
And that's fine, but then where's the considerations of what their pressures are, and the pressures they had on them,
of course.
ultimately. And I think that we generally don't consider that too much. But why? For people who are not, look at our parents and look at the negative, trying to be nice, trying to be clean, the negative impact on a daily basis, that they had to kind of endure and go through.
Of course.
So that wasn't hard. And so you have this, if you're surrounded with negatives on a constant and you're trying to survive, very proud people, and one in, and they ain't no two-bit, nobody. You understand what I'm saying? And they come here to do and be. At the end of the day, and really and truly, that's denied. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, got so much the skill set. They come in with so much skills and energy, to kind of share and progress on, and they wanted that for us as well. Ultimately, even that the miseducation in regards to the education system, and you can see the clear divide in regards to their understanding or overstanding, or what they thought they understood to what the reality was. Yeah. So how do you make that up? This is where we talked with Professor John, brought him into the play because he was instrumental from the 60s of addressing the issues within the education system, but not just that, what he was instrumental in doing is educating the parents about what was really going on in the education system. Because you had this scenario where you had the young ones, right? Whichever way, right? They're done. You can't, you go to school, you're getting abused there. Yeah. We go back home. If you mention any issue at school, you're getting dealt with there.
Yeah.
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 And so that's a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, of course.
For a younger. And it's all coming from, this lack of communication and understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think also as well, it's how would you say, almost in a sense of, some people say, a generational curse, because it stems from slavery. That's what the slave master used to do to the slaves for them to be submissive, was to beat them. And so it's almost like a learned behavior unconsciously going all the way through.
Yeah.
Of course.
So it's a case of changing it rather than actually changing it rather than breaking down a person. You're trying to build up their esteem.
Of course.
Education. Yeah, because at the end of the day, why older people say, yeah, them education I'm done. Yeah,
Right.
It's not the case. Yeah, you
Constantly
don't stop
learning.
educating until you die.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
You're
all
always
passed on,
learning,
whichever
aren't
way.
you? You're always
should
learning.
Be. No, you should be always positively learning. And there just seems to be a lack of it. It is education. You've got you don't just go to school to get educated. As a matter of fact, that's the minor, should be the minor aspect of it. You educated from within your home. Yeah, in all the activities, all that interaction. That's all education. A lot of it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, it's life skills in itself. That's educating.
Well, this is it.
I mean, you're learning.
Of course. And, we're all individuals, and everybody has their own way of doing things, and their beliefs and everything else. But, at the end of the day, everything that you've just said from our parents and picking up things subconsciously, and it derives back to, but it's the mental slavery of things, you know what I mean? And this is what we as a race, and because we are the ones that, by the way,
Sorry.
What's sweet?
Sorry. No, I was saying what you got. What you got is a limited tool set when it comes to them things. When it came to education, here it is. When it came to education, or if you was meant to, the encouragement to do something positive, go read your book. You remember that one?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
You asked a question, they said go read a book.
Yeah, but as you said, Brother Wayne, our parents was faced with a lot more atrocities than what we were faced with. So we can only imagine them trying to keep a balanced psyche for themselves.
Absolutely.
So we can laugh about it now, but we're not the ones who was wearing their shoes. So what we're trying to do is to, in other words, wear better shoes than our parents. We're trying to progress ourselves mentally in many ways. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we're still being faced with the same atrocities, but not just as bad as. They're different, but they're still there. It's a different time 50 years ago to where we are now. And we got more information. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's sometimes things are a 360 cycle.
I was going to get onto that because it's what
sometimes things are a 360 cycle.
Sometimes isn't that a standard? What about cycle of life? What is that?
Exactly.
So you get born, and you go through,
and then you from where you come, and then you return.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely.
And it's that bit though is of interest in regards to what is a transition. Yeah, because this is what we're talking about. When are the when are the youngers going to take some responsibility? Someone of the AI of 30 whatever year age, and you're seeing it's all on the parent, as opposed to maybe going through that full cycle. What's going on there? Aren't we? Shouldn't it be a mantra that our aim is to then, as what was done for us, that now we do for
our yes.
But then I just thought that was, to me, that was like a standard parenting thing that you as the parent, you naturally want your child to do better than what you did or what you achieved. You're always trying to, but I suppose that's like a form of encouragement and boosting that confidence of you can be what you want to be.
Of course, most definitely. Okay, so we're gonna just gonna play a song, and then we're gonna try, as I said, listeners, I'm gonna try and connect to our
new artists.
Our new yes. Our surprise guest, not in the studio. We're gonna do a live call. So I'm just gonna play a song. I'm I'm just going to play another song by Bob Marley because, yeah, like I said, for me, I wish he was still alive today because some of his tunes has so much renaissance to today. And we just have to just listen to the words that are being said. Very powerful indeed. And as he said, there is so much trouble in the world, but we will overcome most definitely. And then I'll come back with this live caller.
So much trouble in the world. So much trouble in the world. Bless my eyes this morning. The sun is on the rise once again. We heard that things are going. Anything can happen. You see, they're sailing on their ego trip. Blast off on their spaceship. Million miles from reality. No care for you, no care for me. So much trouble in the world. So much trouble in the world. All you gotta do, give a little, take a little, give a little, one more time, yeah, 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 yeah. So you think you found that solution? Oh, it's just another illusion. So before you check out this time, we don't live another cornerstone, standing there behind. Yeah, we've got to face the day. Ooh, we come one day. We the street people talking. Yeah, we the people talking. Now they're sitting on the time bomb. Now I know the time has come. What goes on up is coming on down. What goes around, it comes around. So much trouble in the world. So much trouble in the world. So much trouble in the world. There is so much trouble. 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 There is so much trouble in the world. There is so
You got to make it better. For the youths, them future, no, we can't sit and go on like we say. Something kind of balance. Make it better. Children are our future. To the world. Make it better. Again. You feel like a bad man, keep it to yourself. Don't bring it to Jamaica, keep it to yourself. We no want that a jam rock, keep it to yourself. We can't take no more slackness. You can change the laws of man, but you can't change the laws of God. So if they not the enough because them glad. If you change, I must see man, them man. Somebody tell me what is happening. I don't want no fishing on me idle dish to see my son become a father. I'm a greatest wish. The situation kind of very ticklish, but everybody fed up from parish to parish. Yes, and so whom it may concern. I know that the way we want the tables to turn. As a citizen, we got a lot of concern. The truth is, I know that we want we children them to learn. If you feel like a bad man, keep it to yourself. Don't bring it to Jamaica, keep it to yourself. We no want that a jam rock, keep it to yourself. We can't take no more slackness. Hear this, you feel multiply and replenish the earth. And that's why the woman labor in a childbirth. Me no want to see me brother do something and no skirt. And my sister no feel make that actually for password. As a nation, no matter what we put up first. If we think us is a blessing, that's a curse. Lightning and thunder won't make the cloud burst. And just the water from the sugar cane can quench any thirst. To whom it may concern. I know that the way we want the tables return. As a citizen, we got a lot of concern. The truth is, I know that we want with children, them to learn. You feel like a bad man, keep it to yourself. Don't bring it to Jamaica, keep it to yourself. We don't want that a jam rock, keep it to yourself. We can't take no more slackness. You can't change the laws of man, but you can't change the laws of God. So if they're not enough because they're glad. If you change, I must see man, them man. Somebody tell me what is happening. I don't want no fishing on me idle dish to see my son become a father. I'm a greatest wish. The situation kind of very ticklish, but everybody fed up from parish to parish. Yes, and so whom it may concern. I know that the way we want the tables return. As a citizen, we got a lot of concern. The truth is, I know that we want we children them to learn. If you feel like a bad man, keep it to yourself. Don't bring it to Jamaica, keep it to yourself. We no want that a jam rock, keep it to yourself. We can't take no more slackness. Hear this, you feel multiply and replenish the earth. And that's why the woman labor in a childbirth. Me no want to see me brother do something and no skirt. And my sister no feel make that actually for password. As a nation, no matter what we put up first. If we think us is a blessing, that's a curse. Lightning and thunder won't make the cloud burst. And lost the water from the sugar cane can quench any thirst. To whom it may concern. I know that the way we want the tables return. As a citizen, we got a lot of concern. The truth is, I know that we want with children them to learn. You feel like a bad man, keep it to yourself. Don't bring it to Jamaica, keep it to yourself. We don't want that a jam rock, keep it to yourself. We can't take no more slackness. You can't change the laws of man, but you can't change the laws of God. So if they're not
Welcome back. You're tuned into GFM 96. You're tuned into GFM 96.6 FM, and you are listening to the Twice as Nice show. You can get us on 01452 546 400
or text 60066. Start your message with GFM.
Studio at gloucesterfm.com for email.
And I think we had some. Did we have some calls that came in just recently, Brother Wayne?
Yeah, we had Sister Ebony called in.
Big up, Sister Ebony.
Yeah, Max. Loving the show and loving the topic as well and the interaction. Nice one, Sister Ebony. Big up. And Anita.
Auntie Anita. Hello, Auntie Anita. Big up yourself.
And this was around the discipline aspect. So she's 110% in regards to disciplining. And 3 children, 8 grandchildren. And she don't skin no teeth when it comes to discipline.
Yeah, I know that one firsthand too. Thank you very much.
Nice,
I definitely brought it with manners, values, and principles. Yes, thank you, Antonita. You did have a big part in that too to play.
Okay, great stuff. So, what are we moving on to next in between times? What's
Well, it was just recently about this Parliament thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're carrying on a bit bad, and it's coming out even more and more now. I mean, from coming back from. I'm not 100% sure what what's his name, Corbyn, what he said. I know there's something recent in Parliament about somebody got catch watching some dirty something on their phone while they're meant to be listening and dealing with England.
No,
the
what
UK.
What it was it was that it was one of the MPs was watching porn
Yeah.
in Parliament, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't want to say the word. I said dirty things, but
All on Sister B, walk on.
do you know anything about that, Wayne? And what not particularly about that particular councillor, but the Corbyn speech of what he said and how it's caused a bit of an uproar and a ruckus at the moment, hasn't it?
No,
No?
I'm sorry.
You
I'm
don't?
just not
Okay.
up to date. I'm not really don't follow the mainstream media as such, and it hasn't come through to me via any other means at this point in time. So, yeah, kind of flat pan that then. I don't have a lot. I mean, is that anything to do with President Biden or Russia or Ukraine or any of
You
this,
see?
them kind of business?
You see, we pick the subject we're not really too tough on the subject. You know, work, so is it? Because none of us really don't follow the Parliament thing or that bygones be bygones, because it's almost like sometimes the Russian-Ukraine thing is so much in the forefront that sometimes you just have to just switch off from what they're saying, and especially with these things, these fools in Parliament and what they're saying and whatever, blah blah blah. You like what? You don't have no logic and you don't have no sense. So half the time you hear little things that happen, but you don't really take it in because sometimes you just feel like they're just fool people. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, it is a bit odd. I mean, on that note, I mean, how did we conclude? We covered that partly of our last show in regards to
Russia and Ukraine.
the Ukraine bit. But again, I've had a bit of a funky month. I've not been up to date via the normal.
Well, if you notice, it's not so much it's still in the news in the background, but it's not so much highlighted as what it was before. So it's almost like media only tells you bits that they feel that you need to hear when there's still possibly people out there struggling. They just tell you the more, what's the word, catastrophizing bits of what Putin or whatever it wants to do or say, and not get involved with bits and pieces.
I mean, since have they basically got all the African students and Jamaican students, etc.? Are they any news on them? Come on, please.
Well, that's what I said. It's died down. The information that they was telling us about before, all of a sudden, it slowly sort of died down. So you don't hear so much as to what's happening.
Right. Okay.
I do know that they're still trying to collect donations and things like that for people that are still stuck in Ukraine.
Right, okay. And they're still putting them up here. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think there was an article about that.
So you have no border control.
Right. All of a sudden. I know the war-torn country, but there are other war-torn countries out there, and they weren't rushing no visa for them to come and seek refuge. It was a case of
Okay.
that is the woman. See how much you follow Parliament and government and rules. You're obviously then what you call it, a rebel, and you don't follow rules. Nobody can't tell you nothing, right?
No, not just alternative media. I just get the information via alternative means. Truth lines, cut the fluff.
I hear you. So I'm just looking up some bits and pieces on what they were actually talking about.
Got DAB, reference video, dignity and pride, cancer awareness within the community, touch on recents for the COVID. So we got a COVID update coming for you all. That's going to be interested.
Okay, listeners. So we're trying to, if there's any GFM technicians, I think is the right word. If there's any GFM technicians out there that can just kind of like text or ring in the studio, because we're trying to connect with this live call, and I'm doing what I was shown to do. Unfortunately, it's not happening. So we're gonna try and get this artist and try and do this live call here by hooks or by crooks. So just remember, you are listening to the Twice as Nice show, and you can call us. Well, please don't call at the moment. So you can text in and start your message with 600-66 and start your message with GFM, or you can email the studio at studio@gfm.com. So we're just going to go into another tune. The last tune that was played, once again, was another Bob Marley tune, So Much Trouble in the World. Sorry, it was Errol Dunkley, Everyone Do Their Thing a Little Way Different. Is that what was playing out? I'm so trying to sort out this technicality. Honestly, they say women can multitask. We can multitask. I'm not trying to diss this woman, but you know, at the end of the day, we try our best to do everything all at once as we do. But we're going to go into this song. Look Out, it's called, by Ching, ching, ching. So just look out, everybody. Look out.
Look out! Go to that, girl, I look. Everybody in here, look out, look out. Enough now, look out and get them yeah, juke out. Everybody know, look out. How are this style name? Look out. Everybody in here, look out. From me take with the damn girl, you know you have to look out. If you see a tilt up car, you have to watch it. When you see a strange face, man, you have to watch him. Think I know the police are try catch him. The granny said the description look matching. Look now, that girl that tick will walk past. Me look and walk in a glass. People are look and everybody start laugh. Me tell them say, how did everybody know? Look out, what is style name? Look out, everybody in here, look out. Enough now, look out and get them yeah, juke out. Everybody know, look out. How is style name? Look out, everybody in here, look out. From me take with the damn girl, you know you have to look out. Not here where you're there, you have to look out. I could have even had the plane, you have to look out. Yeah, in our session, you show them book out. Bad mind, I watch, so you know you have to look out. 58th floor over there, and me, I look out. The wicked, them a pass, and them never see me foot out. Chopping hard bitch, cause them never did a look out. When I hear yang, nowadays you have to look out. What is style name? Look out, everybody in here, look out. Enough now, look out and get them yeah, juke out. Everybody know, look out. How is style name? Look out, everybody in here, look out. From me take with the damn girl, you know you have to look out. Ching. Awareness. Focus on the outside. Don't lose the 3 pints. Yo, see me. I'm your entertainment. Ching. Look out.
Okay, listeners. Yes, I think we've nearly accomplished what we're trying to accomplish here. Uh, Okay, so what we're going to do, listeners, oh dear Father, just be with me, I ask of thee. Okay, so what we're going to try, we've got caller online. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, caller? Caller, can you hear us? Hello? Yes, I can. Yes, I can hear you through here, but I'm not hearing you through the studio. I'm not hearing you through the studio at all. Okay, we've got you. We've got you. We've got you. We've got you. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay.
It
Oh
works.
my
See,
gosh.
we pray and it come true.
Yeah, we're gonna clap hands now.
The first of many achievements.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's up enough. I think that is. Okay, listeners, bear with us. You are tuned into Twice as Nice show, and I'm trying my hardest here to be a technician in IT and equipment, which that is not my genre. If you ask me about to cook food and all them things, I can do. But with this, I'm just giving God thanks that we sussed it out. Anyway, we have a special guest on our show today. And I just want to introduce, I'll leave it to you if you want to introduce who you are and say who you are, and then I'll take it from there.
All right. UG by name, we're too heavy, and I just went too heavy.
Okay. So can you cut? Yeah. Is there any way you can speak into the phone a little bit more? Because I'm just kind of faintly hearing you, and I'm hoping that the listeners can hear you as well.
And volume. If you've got volume control your end.
If you've got any volume at your end?
Yeah, the volume is up to the end.
Oh, the volume is up to the end. Okay, right. I'll just make sure our volume is up. Okay, listeners. So we have live from the motherland. We have live on our show today. We have Too Heavy. So I just want to say thank you, Too Heavy, for giving us Twice as Nice, GFM 96.6 FM. This opportunity of having this interview with you. We really appreciate you taking the time out from your busy schedule for doing this. So we're just going to go straight into it because we understand that you are super busy and we're just trying to make sure that we keep everything connected. So you are a new artist, for those who do not know. Too Heavy, you can find them, not that I'm advertising, on iTunes. They just released their new EP album on the 25th of March 2022. So Too Heavy. So we have Tomato and we have UG. So my question to you before I play one of your tracks, just so that the listeners can know all about you, is when and how did it all start for you, getting involved with music, and who were your inspirations and influences before you actually decided you wanted to be musical artist?
Like, you mean our inspiration?
Yes, who was your inspiration and your influences before you actually got started in the music industry?
No, as for the secondary issue, we tangled at the 12 class. So shout out to GFM. We could have been right there, but we're over here. So shout out to GFM. But, our inspiration on music itself has been an inspiration. Different type of music, from the likes of Tupac and different type of rap music, the hip hop, and even our genre have been an inspiration to us because we love music right from the start.
Okay, so I actually didn't say where you are at this moment. So where are you at this precise moment?
We are in Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay. So big up to all those in Lagos. You know, as I say, we call it the motherland. So as you said, your Yes, of course, of course. So, how would you describe your genre, your music? Because it has a different beat to the lines of the other artists that are coming out of Africa right now. Because, of course, we know about Burna Boy and Wizkid. So, how would you describe your music?
All right. I would say you're talking about a genre of music.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We're doing trap. We're doing trap music, and we're bringing the flavor of the modern land that they've not heard before because we're trying to be versatile in all we do. So we do trap music.
Sorry, we seem to not be hearing you so well. Could you say that again, please?
Yeah, so say repeat. What is it?
Hey, can you hear us now?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Oh, sorry for the connection. Yeah, we do trap music, and this trap music we're really replenishing heat with the Nigerian flavor to give you the modern land feel because I, too heavy. This duo right here is a duo that, you know, by the grace of God, we believe that the sound is too heavy, and this note, you guys will feel this note. So we we are inspired, and we really want this one to really feel what we have.
Okay. So just going by what you just said, even just your name, how you came up with your name, Too Heavy. So my understanding is that it has the TU with your name. So that's to go with your name, Tornado, and with the U, that's UUG. That's the correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. You did the calculation right.
Okay, and then so if you just explain with the heavy, like is so bad, like how you said it to me previously before, how you explained like too heavy. So, G, would you like to just explain that the as I'm saying to do with your name?
Okay. The name too heavy. The name. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. The name too heavy is TU then heavy,
Uh huh.
and T stands for tornado, while U stands for UG. And definitely, when these two come together, these duo artists, is always heavy, and that's why we come to the name of Too Heavy.
Okay. Okay. And what I liked about obviously with the heavy side, it's like you're just heavy in music, you're heavy in life, you're just heavy in everything, basically. It just
Yeah,
kind
but
of fits into
do it.
all. You kind of fit into all genres of music, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You know, we've been an artist. We've seen ourselves like an artist, like a painter. So we're painting this music, we're painting this lyrics. So we we get inspired by so many things when we paint this art because we want the world to really see what we're painting and hear it and understand it. Because it's either you're listening or you're dancing.
You're listening or you're dancing. Well, I think with sometimes as well, we could definitely do the two. We could listen and we can dance at the same time, you know? So
Takes
so
it for you.
so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play one of your. I'm just going to because obviously, as I said, you released your album on the 25th of March, and one of your songs. I'm just going to just kind of play like one of your songs, and I'm going to play Big Shoe, which is a big track, and I know that it's had many hits and many views since you released it. And then we're just going to just talk about. I'm just going to play it, and then after when I finish playing it, we're just going to just talk about the meaning behind how you came up with Two Shoe. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, so it's a big shoe.
Okay. All right. So we're just going to go into to the song, and then we'll come shortly back to you.
Side.
All right.
You.
I'm the biggest in the traffic when I hop in the truck. I'm born for this trap thing, so there's no giving up. Right? I put button in my fuerte, so I'm driving slow. Cause the trap too heavy, so the cat of a trunk.
Let go big Joe.
Is a lifestyle, body boy looking slow. Connect the money with no Wi-Fi. I ain't going back broke. Excuse me. Making money is my nature. Excuse me. I'm on high medication. High medication. I'm on high medication. medication.
GFM, drop it like it's hot. If you were myself, you will feel yourself. Run up to my Zuma in your closet. We undefeated, but we never started. They don't know the plan. They get hit by surprise. All gang reach like we did the money high. Big shoe, like a solid poker laughing. Biggest in the traffic, man, that pull up in the club.
Big shoes, the lifestyle. Body boy looking stone. Cause I the money with no Wi-Fi. I ain't going back broke. Excuse me. Making money is my nature. Excuse me. I'm on high medication. I'm on high medication. I'm on high medication.
Okay, welcome back, listeners. You're listening to GFM 96.6 FM, and you are tuned in to Twice as Nice Show, and you are listening to Sister Black is Beautiful. We also got Sister Ebony and Brother Wayne here in the studio. Live on air, we have Too Heavy, Too Heavy, coming live from Nigeria, Lagos. Okay, Too Heavy. So we just played your song, Big Chew. A big song, big up to you. One of my favorite beats, of course. So would you just like to explain a little bit about that song for us, please?
All right, Big Shoe is like a car, a truck, anything big that was of value to you. But to Too Heavy, especially, we talk about trucks. Yeah. And worthful things, things that are worth of value to you, those things are big shoe. Also responsibilities are big shoe, but the boy is just looking small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big shoe is the lifestyle. But the big shoe is the new lifestyle.
New lifestyle. So
big
are you...
shoe, your normal shoe, when you put on your shoe, it takes you to where you want to go. And the way we are saying shoe and the way we want to describe it to you guys is that your car, any type of car, is your shoe. It takes you to wherever you want to go. So it's your big shoe. Instead of you putting on your lace, you buckle your seatbelt. So we're trying to tell you that this is the new way that you call your shoe. And big shoe being the lifestyle is as well a responsibility, like my brother said. Because you're getting a bigger truck, you're getting a fancy car, you're getting good things, you have to maintain it. That's the responsibility because you're putting yourself in these shoes, you're in big shoes.
Okay. So it's almost like, metaphorically speaking, how I sort of interpretate it. It's almost kind of like, as you said, you're in a car. So if you come from your feet, first of all, you was walking, and then you decided to ride a bike, and from a bike you progress. So it's almost like Big Shoe is. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, brothers. It's like Big Shoe is kind of saying that it's like a progression in life.
Yeah, it's a win.
What's that, Too Heavy? Say again.
I say yes, you're right, definitely on point.
Yeah.
Okay. So we loving that, So once again, it seems like your message, the message in your music is obviously advocating positivity, advocating growth. Is that what you're saying as well?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. There's always a message in every song we do. Try to just paint out a good message after a good beat and a good writing. So at the end of the day, it sums up to be heavy. So at the end of the day, it's some around 2 heavy.
Okay, I just like the way, I really love the way you incorporated like 2 and heavy, because like, trust me, it seems like everything's is going to be heavy in your direction, it seems like. Yeah?
Yeah.
Most definitely. So, okay, so my brother Wayne would like to ask you a question.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask, where's your main audience? Too Heavy. Do you have a big US following? As an example, where's your main? Well, not so much main, just where's your music spread?
Or which audience group are you trying to reach? I mean, because the point is, you just bust, you just released your album.
The world at large.
The whole world will understand.
Okay, just speak closer to the phone. Speak closer to the phone, please, so we can hear you a little bit better in the studio.
All right. I said we're really doing music for the whole world to understand, not just for some certain people. Because, like my brother said, we're painters, so we're just painting art through music.
Okay.
So we're not just doing music for the young, also doing music for the adults. Like we have series of songs that are coming up that you imagine, like, how did this guy think to this extent? Because we're creating a standard here, but we want everything coming from these two because it's already too heavy. Definitely.
Oh, it's definitely too heavy.
So, do you have a big American influence, or in that sense? So, you're just trying to like build up your following as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was on the growing point because right about now we just dropped the song and we're the over year. We thank God because with that and the first is UK man, which we appreciate that it's coming and the kudos is coming from that way. So yes, blessed it will go global to over as well because it's the prayer.
Good.
And
So
yes,
we will definitely be hearing a lot more of you then within the UK.
Definitely. We're definitely working with or planning to work with a lot of artists who are open to work with us.
Okay, that's good.
Well, that was going to be actually one of my next question. Like, out of all the artists that are out there, because as I said, you got lots of artists coming out of Africa right now. We got lots of UK artists. We got lots of American artists. Like, who would be like, one of the artists that's already there in the music industry that you would love to work, that Too Heavy would like to work with?
Okay, you mean in Africa or specifically?
Well, anywhere
yeah.
in Pacific. I mean, that's entirely up to you guys.
Whoa, that simply means you just give me a black shot to shoot my shot. Well, I love going for things very big. That's why we're too heavy. But if you say who I would love to work with right now,
yeah, most definitely. Who? Sorry.
Thinking.
I said I would go by the future.
Sorry, I did not catch that. Hello? Yeah, sorry, we didn't catch that. Who is the artist that you'd like to work with?
I said I would go by the name Future.
Oh, Future.
In the UK.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's funny, I think you there's a couple of tracks on your album which I think that it's kind of, you have that kind of feel. Like I said, when I first kind of like played your sound to some youngsters, they kind of gave me feedback of how you have that hip hop, rap, Afro feel, sort of like, as you said, to do with that side of things. So I can understand why like Future would be somebody you'd be interested to work with.
Yeah. And apart from that, somebody that thinks on the direction of art, somebody that writes and sings, like someone. It's not about just doing music; it's about having a direction of the music that you're doing. So he's kind of somebody in that category of art kind of music.
Okay. All right. So we're just going to go into another track. I'm going to play. I don't know, because I just like so much. And then we're going to just kind of like wrap this up. So I think I'm going to go in with Spade. Yeah, because it's one of my favorites. And then we will come back to you.
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry, Brother Wayne.
Just a quick question.
Yes, of course.
Too Heavy. You got any plans coming to the UK? Do you actually get out and about?
Oh yeah, that's what I said at first. I said we could have been over there doing this interview.
Okay.
One day.
Listen, Too Heavy. The minute you touch base on the UK soul, I'm going to be hollering at you to come into the studio to do a live interview.
Oh yeah, you're on us right now.
Most definitely. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to play Spade. We're going to play your song, and then we'll come back to you. All right. So, as I said, listeners, you are listening to GFM 96.6. We have Too Heavy live online, and we're just going to listen to one of their songs called Spade. My favorite song.
I be the spade and I keep your aim. To the beach and sail away. For 24 hours and I'm back to a man. In my life I care to me. There's something to prove, we can start to the land. We go back to infinity. I know the good should go back to the end. My bitch back kissed him. When I wink she listen. She my lucky threesome. With Peggy, wearing my t-shirt. In the club like douche magician. Double the pass. And the best making incantation. With a robe with insufficient. No, can't kill the feelings in my soul. Your bitch, she said she wanna roll. Don't leave me, girl, you want some more. One thing, she straight up to the moon. She fell in love with the fire, my heat like drag, I'm feeling like right on. Ejaculation retire, make it by the dish, she can leave it all night long. I've been up with the bird, running my dreams, scripting out this food. She want me down with the lure, she can scream. Love is so deep on the pipe, roll like a love. Beat up the mama la resta. Break up the girl. 21, 2, 3. Beat it like my medallion. Get set, keep fighting up. Put it another degree. Smoke it in my knees. Try to get down on her knees. Clean it up for your release. Touch on her face, so many keys.
Yo, when it's long time, I'm gonna come to tell everybody at 96.6 GFM, keep GFM lock, GFM, don't turn it off.
She said she wanna roll. Don't leave me, girl, you want some more. One beat, just straight up to the moon. You ain't gonna see your next birthday, she'll be your trust, yeah.
You're listening to GFM.
Say, puff, puff, pass. Ram Dodge black. Shoe go fast. 12K cash, won't end no wheel, let me hold on nipples. High vibe with the beach from India. Got goons sniffing from distance. The smoke you off like Zaza. Put on my tongue, man, I do it for quite long. Pull up, quite long. Truck looking with the Magnum. So long, my tongue, man, I do it for quite long. Pull up, quite long. Truck looking with the Magnum. Pop smoke. Ride with a bitch from big get more smoke. Pop and pass the shit that pop smoke. Just can pull me over pop smoke. Ride with a bitch from big get more smoke. Pop and pass the shit that pop smoke. Just can pull me over pop smoke. Puff pass, Ram Dodge black, shoe go fast, 12K cash, won't end no wheel, let me hold on nipples. High ride with the beach from India, got goons sleeping from distance, you can smoke you off like Zaza. Smoking the Zaza, hop in the chopper with some daughter. Papa la plamba, chica mi papa, I ain't your father. Now goons keep coming. You heard the honey, pass me the money. We gon' buy too much. Ride with a big phone, big get small. Pop and pass the shit that pop smoke. Just can pull me over pop smoke. Puff, puff, pass. Ram Dodge black. Shoe go fast. 12K cash. Won't end no wheel, let me hold on nipples. High ride with the beach for me, dude.
Okay, welcome, listeners. You are tuned into GFM 96.6 FM, and you have just heard Too Heavy. Yes, Too Heavy, new sound out of Nigeria. We are here live call. You still there, Too Heavy?
Yeah.
Yes. So
It works. It's still working. It's still working.
It's working. So I've just played two tracks, Dublin and PPP. Would you just like to just briefly just say about these two tracks I've just played? Too Heavy.
Actually, Spade and PPP.
Spade and
PPP. My bad.
All right. Talking about Spade, let me because you play Spade first. Spade, we're trying to bring out this Caribbean feel and say a story about this Caribbean life and how you explore in Caribbean.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. A girl, let's call a spade a spade. Let's be truthful about this. Like, we just saying the nail at the day that took a girl and take it away and return the next day. And, we just calling a spade because it's the lifestyle.
Okay.
Yeah. And about P, yes, PPP, the full meaning is full fast. Well, about that, I will let you to go read it and understand it.
Okay, you need to speak in the phone a bit more clearly. We're kind of not hearing you too well when you just explain PPP.
All right, he's saying that about PPP, it will lead you to read the lyrics and understand because at the end of it, it will puff, and fast.
Okay. Well, thank you so much to Heavy. Is there any chance we can get like a live ad lib from you at this moment? Is there any chance? UG, I hear Bird has told me that you are fantastic at creating sounds like beats just naturally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so is there any chance we can just get a quick freestyle from you guys before you go?
All right.
I know I'm putting you on the spot, so you can say no because I am putting you on the spot. But if there is a chance, then we are more than willing to hear it.
Please.
Oh, Becky, Sister B asked so
Please.
nicely. She said, "Please." Okay, jump on T.
This should be lap so you see that
I like the sound.
Okay. Well, Eugene, clearly you are a talented young man that can make a sound of a saxophone through your mouth without actually using.
Is that a saxophone or trumpet?
Oh, a trumpet. Okay, Brother Wayne. Yes. Well, it's a musical instrument, definitely, which is made from the mouth. So I just want to say thank you so much for this interview. I know you guys are super busy promoting this new album, and you've got lots of shows booked up and venues that are there in Nigeria. And we here at GFM 96.6 would like to wish you all the best, like to wish Too Heavy all the best and success in the future. And hopefully if you come over to the UK, which we're hoping you will be either not this year or next year, that you will definitely come and grace our studios and do a live show with us.
It's a great one. Looking forward to that.
Nice one, Too Heavy. Big.
Okay, so thank you. Thank you so much. Is there any shout outs you would like to make before you go, brother?
Yeah, we really want to say thanks to you all in the station.
Thank you, Sister BB. The black is beautiful.
Wayne,
right?
Yes, Brother Wayne and Sister Becky as well.
Yes, brothers. Nice one.
And shout out to our team as well.
Shout out to the whole of UK.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So take care, brothers, and yes, we will hold the connection. Thank you so much, and goodbye. Okay, listeners, we're going to go straight into a track. The track is called Peter Unningale, and we just want to do everything nice, music and everything. So we're going to do it in a rubber dub style.
Once again, feel the passion in my heart.
Okay, listeners, we seem to have had a little bit of technicality difficulties there. I'm just going to just rewind this tune and I will come again. As I said, the song is by Peter Hunningale and it's called Rubber Dub Style.
Come with you, this in a rubber dub style. All dance crew, massive and wow. Come with you, this in a rubber dub style. Said it's come around again. Talking about that good old reggae. Rally round and tell your friends that it's alright. Once again, feel the vibes within my heart. I know that I love my reggae. I don't wanna be apart from that feeling. No, my friend. It's just part of life. So reggae morning, noon, and night. I can't do without those vibes. Gotta say one heart inside. Oh yeah, reggae, no massive get wild. Come we do this in a rubber dub style. Dance all massive get wild. Come we do this in a rubber dub style. Give me that old good reggae vibes. Give me some revival style. Wanna feel that good old rhythm. It does it to me every time. I go crazy out my mind. Touch me with a lover's screw. Wanna hug up with my lady. Something that I can't refuse. Like a no time reggae blues. Music is part of life. Of life, yeah. Without those vibes, gotta say one heart. Like I say, massive vibe. Come we do this in a rubber dub style. You know all that's true. We're massive vibe. Come we do this in a rubber dub style. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Like I say, all that's true. Come we do this in a rubber dub style. Like I know, massive get wild. Come we do this in a rubber dub style. I know your name, love it, want it, come we do this in a rubber dub style. You know, all that's reggae. Come we do this in a rubber dub style. Oh, massive get wild.
And the next song is Time is the Master. I'm sure you remember this one. Rubber Dub Time.
Time is going, why not make yourself a plan and try to be someone Hold up your head so I can see you trying, son. Time is the master, but time can be disaster if you don't care. You young and gay, you old and gray. Time is the master, but time can be disaster if you don't care. Time, 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 time. Time, 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 time. Time is the master, but time can be disaster if you don't care. Time, 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 time. Time is the master, but time can be disaster if you don't care. Whoa.
Just pull up that one again.
Time is going, why not make yourself a plan and try to be someone? Hold up your head so I can see you trying, son. Time is the master, but time can be disaster if you don't care. You young and gay, you old and gray. Time is the master, but time can be disaster if you don't care. Time, 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 time. Time, 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 time. Time is the master, but time can be disaster if you don't care. Time, 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 time. Time is the master, but time can be disaster if you don't care. Whoa. Time is the master, but time can be disaster if you don't care. You young and gay, you old and gray. Time is the master, but time can be disaster if you don't care. Time, 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 time. Time, 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 time. Time is the master, but time can be disaster if you don't care. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Time, 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 time. Time, 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 time. Time is the master, but time can be
When it's never go where pagans go. Hold on. Pull that track back up again.
I'll never go in wrong congregation. Why? Rastaman a born pagan, so I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do, cause Rastafari by the guidance. I'll never say what the daddy just say.
Yeah, cooking again on the track. But last one was John Holt.
never going wrong combination.
It's Warrior King.
Rastaman upon pagan soul. I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do. Cause Rastafari by the guidance. I'll never say what the daddy just say. For Emperor Selassie, I trust and obey. Rasta words of the substance. I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do. Cause Rastafari by the guidance. I'll never say what the wicked heart say. Neither will I walk in the council no day. All the eyes be no God. So mythology and illusion I'll be always burning. Corruption and confusion will be shown in the ash bin. Careful the Rastaman with your false doctrine, your false teaching. Oh, what a sin thing. Justice in disguise, it's salvation and the seeking. From the throne of David, yeah, it's obvious that you're drifting. You have the respect for the King of all kings. So his name I'll be always exalting. So I'll never go where pagans go. Never do what the heathens do. Cause Rastafari by the guidance. I'll never say what the daddy just say. For Emperor Selassie, I trust and obey. Rasta words of your substance. I'll never go where pagans go. Never do what heathens do. Cause Rastafari by the guidance. Never say what the wicked are say. Neither will I walk in the council no day. All the eyes be no guys, so I'll never go astray from my roots and my culture. Neither will I forget my homeland, Mama Africa. So go me come go and separate from the vipers, from the hypocrites and from the vampires. Hail the King of Kings, for we give it all the powers. Born in Ethiopia, look, it's written in the scriptures. Who are the righteous? Say they are the truth seekers. Go beyond the you, boss leaders. So I'll never go where pagans go. Never do what the heathens do. Cause Rastafari by the guidance. I'll never say what the daddy just say. For Emperor Selassie, I trust and obey. Just the words of your substance. I'll never go where pagans go. Never do what the heathens do. Cause Rastafari by the guidance. I'll never say what the wicked heart say. Neither will I walk in the council no day. Allah is my guide, so I'll never go. I'll never go. I'll never go where they go. Oh, I'll never stray. No way, no day. No, I'll never say what they say. Oh, I'll never go where they go. Rastafari, I will always follow. Me the heathen can't come sway. No way, no day. Oh, yeah. So I'll never go where pagans go. Never do what heathens do. Cause Rastafari by the guidance. I'll never say what the knowledge just say. For Emperor Selassie, I trust and obey. Rasta words of your substance. I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do. Cause Rastafari by the guidance.
Holy Emmanuel I Selassie I Rastafari. Talk to us, you.
Love Radio. Love GFM 96.6.
TCO are proud to present Grammy Award-winning artist Ashanti alongside Trey Songz and Mario, celebrating the 20th anniversary of the release of the hit single Foolish at Birmingham's Utilita Arena on Wednesday the 1st of June. Tickets are on sale now from theticketfactory.com or ticketmaster.co.uk. For more information, go to ashantifoolishtour.com. Join Ashanti, Trey Songz and Mario for an unforgettable night of classic R&B.
Love One, Love All Promotions present The Elegant Dinner, Show and Dance. Saturday, 4th of June at the H Suite, Edgbaston, Icknield, Port Road, Birmingham. Doors open at 6 for a red carpet champagne reception. At 7, it's dinner and comedy from Curtis Walker and Pingway. Then from 10 till 2 a.m, the Show and Dance, starring live Carol Thompson.
So sorry.
And Janet Kay. Music from Love Injection and Jemmy Magic. Alongside Father Ovis, Jenny P, Dolphus Massigan and Mikey D. It's all hosted by Robbie G and Eddie Nestor. Tickets online from Shoobs.com and Eventbrite or from usual outlets. VIP tables available. Call 07860 292 454.
Sadly, 1 in 2 of us will get cancer in our lifetime. Gloucestershire Hospitals Foundation Trust are promoting cancer awareness. Have you noticed any unusual changes in your body recently, such as lumps, bumps, weight loss, tiredness, or abnormal bleeding? Although there may be many reasons for these symptoms, they could be signs of possible cancer. It might be difficult to talk about these personal changes, but it's crucial to discuss your concerns with your GP. We want you to feel comfortable to attend any of your appointments. So if you have any questions or need help, it's okay to ask. The important thing is not to delay in getting yourself checked out. Listen out for the series of programs about cancer on GFM throughout the rest of the year. Sponsored by Macmillan Cancer Support.
I got flowers today. No, it's not my birthday or anything special like that. We had an argument last night. And he said a lot of cruel things that really hurt my feelings, but I guess he's sorry because he got me these flowers today. I got flowers today, and today is actually a very special day. It's the day of my funeral. Last night he beat me to death. If only I had the courage and the strength to leave him, maybe I wouldn't have gotten flowers today.
Please don't wait to report domestic abuse.
Family Time with Pastor Charles Campbell, Wednesday evenings 6 to 7 p.m. here on GFM 96.6. We are family.
Hello, Gloucester, and we are back. We are back.
Yes, we are.
For another Twice as Nice show. So following on from that lovely interview, Sister Black is beautiful.
Well, go on, Becky.
Heavy, too heavy.
Yeah, you're too heavy to the cave. Remember the heaviness of it.
It's too heavy for you.
Too heavy for you, man. It's too heavy for you.
Definitely.
The
That's what it
headphone
was.
too heavy for you.
Everything too heavy, right? You know. Yeah. Nah, joke. But anyway, yeah. So moving on to another subject.
Well, I
matter.
just want to go back to Parliament, if that's all right with you guys.
Yeah, that's fine. I think.
Yeah. Obviously, I know you guys were kind of like being the fabulous co-host you are, kind of covering me while I was trying to get this technicality sorted out.
Yeah, but we did lack certain amount of factual content though.
Yeah, but
yeah, I won't lie.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's so much going on in Parliament at the moment. Going back to the MP who was caught watching porn while he was in the House of Commons, should he be sacked? Do you think he should be sacked?
Isn't he sacked? Or?
Is he sacked?
I
don't think it's a sackable offence. I don't think. Let me just. But I look by me so.
No, I just.
No, the reason I'm gonna back my chat. Yeah, the reason why I don't think it's a sackable offence. I'm not agreeing that he's supposed to be watching porn, or while he was in the House of Commons, because that's his job. He was there for a reason. Yeah, but I understand that people doodle on their phone. But hold on, Brother Wayne. Hold on, Brother Wayne, hold on. I'm not saying it was right for him to watch porn, but I don't think he should have got sacked. He should have got a verbal warning or the last written warning. And the reason why I say that is, if the William name, the one with the rough hair, the one with the blonde hair, William name, call him name, because sometimes we forget him name.
Doris.
Doris. That's him.
You're right.
True.
We call him Doris. Boris. If Boris can lie to us, right?
Proven liar.
Yeah, he's a proven liar, right? If he is still there after his lies, after he told us in the heart of 2020 to stay at home. Listen, it was my dad's 80th. And I couldn't even go into my mother's house. We lost members of our family in 2020. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, people was keeping themselves separated from family, loved ones and friends. And this year, they in a 10 Downing Street, a whole party and a twerk and I do everything. Them I have bashment, them I have everything.
But you
them I
never
have
know the rules.
rave,
But you
them I
never know the rules.
Them don't know the rules. Them are bringing alcohol, everything. And mind you, there's lots of things that they got caught. So imagine the things they did get catch. So if he can keep his job, I don't think this man should get sacked. No, not at all. Boris should have left because he's supposed to be the Prime Minister of England.
Well, this is my point. As far as I'm concerned, everything should be performance orientated. I don't business what he's looking at. If he ain't doing it, just get rid of him anyway. Simple.
So that's why I think.
And anyway, they're all liars.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, that's a prerequisite.
I know
Parliament.
that you can't trust all of them in the House of. I'm just being a bit diplomatic here. I've been now paint everybody with the same brush because there's that brother, I forgot his name. The one who made that wonderful speech. And Diana, is it Diana? Diane was the one. She's
Abbott.
Not all of them bad. Not
Abbott. Look, what
me
it
know,
is.
me know you have one and two look a rotten apple in the barrel.
Hold on.
So the only thing we do is take out them the rotten apple before them rotten the rest of the barrel, don't?
No, the barrel's rotten.
They're rotten already.
They're rotten already. You have a little one and two good apple, and I eat that. Look, the prerequisite is right. If you're not towing the party line, yeah, and their agenda, yeah, well, you're not really in. Which basically means that if you have the audacity to tell the truth, and you're not part of our club, and they are far and few between, in my opinion.
Yeah, true. But
let's call it as
I
it
don't
is.
think it was a sackable offence. Personally, myself, I said, I'm not
was
condoning.
he any good at his job?
I don't even know what he was doing, to be quite honest with you.
But then it all depends. You know, at the end of the day, you have a verbal warning, written warning, and then so we're only just hearing about this time. We don't know how many times and get catch already and get warning and there's, do you know what I mean? There's always background to it. There's got to be.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning this behavior because, as you said, we don't know if this is not the first time. And to be honest with you, he must be some kind of stupid man to be sat in. No, for real though, because remember the House of Parliament is there's somebody behind
somebody
you.
Must be watching over your shoulder, right?
For you to have your phone, even if you're bored.
Was it his phone?
Then well,
I wasn't there.
Or was it a laptop? What device was it?
Well, we don't know what it was.
So it could have been a laptop, and that could have been one that's provided to him for use within his duties.
That's even worse. That's more to fool him. Do you know what I mean? How could you have a big old dirty laptop screen on your lap? Yeah, and then go and tune into porn.
Yeah, but in the office, though. Yeah.
It was in Parliament. Oh, right. So you're saying he was in his office.
Well, I'm
in his
not sure. I'm trying to.
Well, that's even worse because now my mind's just gone wild.
You see me?
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I do see you, Brother Wayne.
I wasn't there.
It wasn't me. And it's Shaggy. It wasn't me. But you know what though?
It's just an presumption in the absence of factual information. You know what I mean? And the options that are available to him. So it could be palm phone. It could have been upon one laptop sitting, and it could have been his own. It could have been his own laptop, or possibly.
You know, no difference whether I'm on laptop or not. No,
you want to know why make a
Brother
difference?
Wayne?
Because at the end of the day, if it was that's a dedicated laptop, which is part. This is what people got to understand: is that it's all monitored. You understand what I'm saying? So he is a proper idiot. If it is,
so the guys them in IT was watching
IT was
too.
what? Yeah.
Right.
So all you got to do is a little audit, and you know exactly what
the truth of the matter is, like, come on, we're all kind of like governed by some kind of auditing, especially when we work for the government. So the people in IT can just about keep up with you calling them to say, hold on a minute, I can't even access my Outlook. Never mind for them to go siphoning through old data of who went on where. They don't have no time for that.
No, you're missing it.
I'm not condoning this behavior, by the way, Brother Wayne.
You're missing it. If you're up to date with IT, that's the very thing that they are into. Be shenanigans. Of course, they want to know what people have been going on with, if they're going on with some kind of out of order undergroundness. Yeah.
I mean, if he was in his office, right, in his office, and he was I'm not condoning his behavior now, Sister B.
Of course, I'm just a look. But just a look.
The way you widen your palm in your wonder.
Because all I'm thinking is, boy, I better take off the Netflix off my work laptop. Because I'm watch the movie.
Hey, listen. Don't go selling yourself out right about now, Sister B. Yeah.
All right.
But what I'm trying to say is that if he was in the office, and he was watching porn, I'm not condoning. I'm not condoning it. Yeah. I ain't got nothing against porn. Who want to watch porn? Watch porn. Do you know what I mean? Porn is there for everybody who wants to watch it, but there's a time and place for it. You get me? So even if he was on his lunch break,
not according to me. What's his name?
Well, not according to you're right. But even if it, because put it this way, if I want to be at work on my, all right, I know it's my phone, it's not a work phone. But if I want to watch porn in my lunch break, that's my business. That is nobody's business except mine.
Well, it depends where you are. Go watch the porn and what device you're using. And you said your phone.
If it's my phone,
okay.
If it's my own device, and even if I'm sat in the bench outside my office and I want to sit and watch porn, that is my business.
What about whoever else is sharing the bench with you?
Well, then get up and move somewhere else.
I saw it go. Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not force you to look on my screen. But furthermore, that's another thing that people's too inner nowadays. Too often, people is you only have to open your phone and people's already broken their neck to look on your screen.
You know what? It's too much. You're kidding me today. I can't even speak because I'm just here in the studio, dead in. I'm dead in the air.
No, so if
make sure nobody sits by sister
at lunchtime while she's on the bench.
You see her sit on bench. I'm
just keeping it real. You get me? I'm just keeping it real. But obviously, if I was in my place of work, and I was using my PC to watch porn, do you know what I mean? That's when I cross my own boundaries. You got to be an idiot to do that because you don't know, your rules and your regulations. Even if you're not IT savvy or whatever, you can't play dumb like, oh, I think now I'm supposed to be watching that. You could have been, because we're, obviously if you work in front of a PC, there's many times I would kind of like click and go into the BBC News or when I'm on my lunch break.
Well, the only time that's gonna what I would say is for all concerned, go through, and if that's kind of your fancy, go through your policy terms and conditions that you signed off at work within this. They will tell you or should tell you the usages of your PC. If they admit certain aspects of information, therefore, and it's not within scope, that must mean then it's deemed okay. So go check.
Okay, because normally if you go into something on using a work laptop or a work PC, the IT guys normally put blockers on it saying you can't go into
exactly.
You can't go into that. You can't go sell you something then on eBay at lunchtime on the work computer. Do you see what I mean? That's
but this is the point. So you can see the level of control that can be had right? By a third party or someone that's on the other end of the line. I watch you.
Yeah. But as we talk about Parliament, I just want to also just draw in, because at the end of the day, there's so much going on, so much on the news, but I can't. To be fair, I'm not even going to lie. I can't even remember. I can't even remember turning on the TV to watch any news this week. I'll lie. So some controversial new laws were rushed through government this week. Some laws were rushed through. So 6 new bills were passed through last minute this week ahead of the end of parliamentary sessions. So I have to wonder, brothers and sisters, you be okay?
Yes, sorry, I had an email come through and I wasn't quite sure who it was actually from, but it was just to big up Daddy Wayne, and also to say that the interaction, is it Zanaya,
my granddaughter.
She's bigging you up, and she's also saying it was on his phone. It wasn't a PC. I'm assuming she's talking about our current topic.
Okay.
It wasn't PC, no laptop. She said it was on his phone.
Well, there you go. Boom.
Okay, nice one.
So I don't believe he should have been sacked. Okay, if he was actually sat in the Commons at that time, where they're like kids. Like kids in a playground, aren't they? If he was sat there, more to fool him, because the person beside him, left and right, can see him watching porn. It was almost like he was bored what was going on, so he thought, you know what, let me just watch a little bit of porn, titillate myself, literally. But more to fool him, when there's people around you to do that. So he shouldn't. All right, it's almost like he's shooting himself in the foot by doing that, because it's like you're kind of showing people you ain't even intelligent enough to be sat there. If you're that stupid enough to go take out your phone and watch porn, you know what I mean? But anyway, thank you very much for letting us know what it was, the device, and where it was. And as I was saying, some laws have been passed through Parliament.
Before we get on to the next laws, I think we need to have a break, because that was one heavy thing. I know with the laws, there's a lot of little sneaky things that are being hitting in. So I'm gonna play a track and then come back to that one.
Okay.
And this is Chronic. Here comes trouble.
Chronics, left and right, just so just a come, left and right, better, ooh yeah, boy. And then say, here comes trouble, here comes the danger, sent by the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. I start recruit, soldiers for Selassie, army. Hey. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger, welcome the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. Then after axes who at the general issue in a warning. So people them a ball, said them tired of mediocre. Evil a go fall when we tread in Ethiopia. Believing from down, cause them life no easy motor. Even one time said it's not an easy road. Operation occupy the motherland, calling all soldiers to kindly tread along. From creation, he writing a job plan, but Chronics can't do it alone. So I'm recruiting soldiers coming from near and far, I choose executing. Selassie I works and the Rastafari true. And them say, here comes trouble, here comes the danger, sent by the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. I'm on a start recruit, soldiers for Selassie I army. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger, welcome the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. You're not for axes who are the general issue in a warning boy. Waving the banner red, green and gold. It is such a honor prophecies unfold. It's covered on stones, on trees and scroll. And even in the stories that Jesus told, Rasta youth must inherit the earth. Can't sit down, Jaja say me fi work. Bring the fire in a room, Jaja say me fi purge. But I can't do it alone. Rasta recruiting, soldiers coming from near and far, I choose executing. Selassie I works and the Rastafari choose. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger, sent by the Savior, welcome the Rasta youth. I start recruit, soldiers for Selassie I army. Hey. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger, welcome the Savior, welcome the Rasta youth. You know for axes who are the general issue in a warning. Hey. Left or right, the soldiers are gone. Left, right, the soldiers are gone. I could I never throw it down, no boy. Yeah, I will say left, right, the soldiers are coming. Left, right, the soldiers are coming. Left, right, the soldiers are marching on, boy. Mommy said, here comes trouble, my friend, and here comes danger. Rastafari send me come. I said we're sent by the Savior. Here comes trouble, my friend. Here comes danger, bobo. Ooh, no. Hey, and it's like here comes trouble. Here comes the danger. Here comes trouble. Hey. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger, sent by the Savior, welcome the Rasta.
Welcome back, Gloucester. You see them around joke Pammy now? Oh my. Coming back on our previous topic about Parliament, and this man need to forget Saka and what we should do and what we shouldn't do on our work devices and in our own personal time on our work devices.
Or your own personal device.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever your choice. App time. Dawn called in. She basically loving the topic. She just picked it up. In Dawn's opinion, he deserves to be sacked. He's a politician. Politicians are ultimately, I hope I'm quoting you correct, Dawn, but they're in a responsible position, yeah, with people's lives, yeah. Therefore, they've got to be held accountable and responsible. Sack him, says Dawn.
Yeah, I mean, I
Let him
agree.
go.
They should be accountable and everything else. But you think Sahim one? I'm not saying that
No, I
they're all.
don't.
Could you imagine? Come next week, all 7, 9 of them, 10
Well,
of them.
you know,
Everybody has to get
Everybody
sacked
go.
then, yeah,
The whole of the man is them out of parliament. And
This
go,
is-
God, because they watch part. Because I'm sure. I mean, come on now. Let's be realistic now. Come on. How many times? I don't know if you've actually sat and watched the House of Commons, and it's almost like it is like big kids having a slanging match, verbal
Yes.
slanging match.
It actually looks quite boring unless it's
It-
something else relating to you.
to-
Then they're just bored.
Yeah, so I can just. I'm not trying to condone the behavior here. All right, I'm just going to make that absolutely 100% clear. But sometimes when you go to a training, and if it's not stimulating you start
Yeah.
to nod a little bit. You almost need matchsticks to keep your eyes open.
Right.
So I can understand why. Yes, you may doodle a little bit if you're in the background, because sometimes you go to a meeting, your phone vibrates, you'll pick it up, have a look, and maybe try and sneak a message or whatever. But I mean, all right, you have to really be brazen
No, I've
to
got no
start watching
sympathy.
porn.
The more you're talking, I've got no sympathy. Listen, the
I
man
mean,
is
I said we have
responsible.
sympathy for him.
He's responsible for almost thousand from whichever borough, whoever.
Yeah, me know, brother, we and me
when them
know.
voting for tech stage on their behalf, etc., etc. Look, and you must have X amount of cases that he's got to deal with. If you want to do it on your phone, deal with your backlog of cases. All right, and deal with your work. I'm sure that you got more than enough to be dealing with.
True.
You see me? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
about them, did they sit on our fall asleep and all that kind of far?
Yeah, it's true.
And so what? You get paid for what? To go and lie on the bench and sleep?
That's true.
What kind of foolishness?
Yeah,
A bag of money too.
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
it?
It's not two pence and all your little I don't know.
I
little,
totally
what do
agree
you call
with
it?
you, by the
The
way.
expenses, etc.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, just like how we go to work and we've got an expectation for ourselves, and our colleagues that we work with have an expectation of us.
Yes.
To Rastafari, I don't know
That's
how
right,
comes this
exactly.
man thing saying, could I get out with
And neither should he in some form or the other. But
well, everything's just kind of
Dawn-
naming and shaming now, isn't
well,
it?
there you go. But I agree with Dawn from that point of view that, at the end of the day, these politicians, they in a serious position.
Yeah.
Some of the, how they can sleep at night, some of them, yeah, in regards to the fact that they have these, they make these judgments and so on and so forth, which affect, right, people on a massive scale, but yet them just so brazen about it, So I can't really give him that much, I just believe
Like
that.
I said,
the
I wasn't
Parliament-
condoning his behavior.
Appreciated. I just believe, it needs to be, what do you call that? Revolution. Yeah, they just need to be, basically changed. Yeah,
Yeah, I do think you should get the old codgers out and put the newer ones,
Yeah,
the fresh, funky ones, politicians.
No,
and-
not even young. I know don't work for me. It's got to be the mentality on the mindset.
Yes.
Depending on the mindset of the
different
individual. You
type
see
of
all them.
reform.
Most of them are
Public
dryads.
boys
They've
and-
got
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They got nothing in commonality with
the general
people,
public.
and they
Yeah, I
don't generally
understand.
have
So I
no
understand
kind
what
of
you're
spiritual
saying, for
depth,
real.
and they're on some other plane. I can go on.
That's true. And while we are talking about Parliament, as I said before, Sister B played the track by Chronics, that some laws were rushed through. They've been said, since since COVID,
Yeah.
they've been rushing through laws,
Yeah.
right?
They
And I don't like it. I don't
Put
like
the
it
wall
because,
over our eyes.
because for me is before you couldn't rush nothing, but all of a sudden everything is rushing. Why is everything being rushed through Parliament? And with them, with the news, yeah, we know what the news is all about. Obviously, the press. Yeah, we know it's there for a reason. It's got its positive and it's got its negs. But with what's going on around the world with Ukraine and Russia, which is dominating the news, it's almost like we left one domination for another domination. First it was COVID, now it's Ukraine and Russia, and it's like the whole world is on this Ukraine and Russia. Till I even watched something the other day where American politician was really giving this a politician from Pakistan or India a hard time asking him, why are you not supporting Ukraine? And why are you not sending over resources? Why are you not getting involved? And and we have to give it to the to rice and peas. I have to give it to rice and peas for real. That the Indian government really dug in and really gave it to that American politician. He said, "How dare you drag us into something that was never ours in the first place? It's between you and Russia." I didn't know that Biden's son, before Biden became prime minister, was rubbing shoulders with Russia. So you see when you really check out everything while going, we can't really just sit things for fears, because this war, I'm not saying it's right for people to be dying. I'm not condoning that, but as I said the last time, like 4 weeks ago, it made me question, like, look how long Russia and Ukraine has now been in the news. Do you know what I'm saying? And to the point where I don't even watch the news no more, because I don't even want to hear. I don't even want to hear no baga, because it's just seemed like they're trying to wash us with something to cover up something else. And that's my view in it. And it's just my personal view.
Well, it's seemingly unbalanced as well in its delivery, ultimately, and its overall balance in life, because obviously what it does show you is how things such as this conflict are manipulated and utilized for others' gain, basically. So all the pain that the innocent are going through, at the end of the day, it is been orchestrated.
Of course,
because at the end of the day, there are peace avenues. If you put it that way, there are at least peace avenues. Did it have to actually come to this?
Exactly. Because everybody's making Putin seem like a madman, but there's madder man out there than him. Madder man out there than him,
Whoever's calling him mad, right?
They're mad themselves.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're the worst, as far as I'm concerned.
There's a reason.
At least the man kind of keep himself quiet. Sorry, Sister Bex. At least the man keeps himself quiet. Ultimately, you see him running around the world, terrorizing individual countries,
for real.
etc. This, that, and the other. You've got South Africa who refused to take a position, ultimately, but the same thing again. You get these Western, whoever they are. I think it was I can't remember which one was giving it about. She was the ambassador to Ukraine, who was within South Africa. Yeah.
Okay.
South Africa, that was, and she was giving it about. She was texting, trying to get an audience to try to speak to the president, something of that nature. And then you had a spokesman come back and said, "Look, we received your texts. We're in communications with you. Yeah. What's all this about?" Ultimately, that's what it broke down to. And then in the same breath, they have a position where they don't have a plus or minus. In effect, they're saying, "Look, you just get on and deal with your business, nothing to do with we." And away you go. And I think there's a few countries taking that stance.
Yeah. I mean, the UN and obviously like the USA, England, they want to draw in other people into it, but it's not their war.
There you go.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's not only that, but when other wars were going on in the world, everybody else
still are.
Still are. The Western world stood back.
Look at the West Bank. Look at what they're doing with right over there. It's ridiculous, right?
Exactly.
And on and on. And you've got various conflicts in Africa that are going.
Well, from donkey's years,
right.
In it,
and still going.
And yet, still, the Western world never stepped in to assist or aid in any. Yeah, for real. So these people have to understand this. It's like almost they think that they can just tap on the door and everybody will cluck. It don't work like that. We're living in a different times where we have information accessible, shall I say, to our fingertips. So yeah, man, I just love the way that the Indian government, when I say the man literally did cuss off the man pan the ear, like said, "Oh dear you," honestly, how dare you? I mean, sometimes these governments are too prim. They feel that they can just go to these Western, these I wouldn't even say third world.
No, it's not third world. That's
it's not even third world. It's them that's labeling it.
Yes, they label it that.
But these other countries, they feel that they can just turn to them and it's like they think that, because I don't even know what they think, because I haven't got the minds of them. Yeah, so I can't even say what they're thinking. But I'm just saying that times is changing rapidly in front of us.
Very fast.
Very fast. Indeed. And I just want to just briefly just talk about some laws that's been rushed through government this week. Once again, because other things have dominated the news. I have to admit, I've held my hand up. I haven't literally turned on and watched the news once this week at all. So basically, we got the building safety, the building safety bill was granted, and that's to do with following the crisis with the Grenfell fire, which is a good thing.
Why is it taking them so long to pass that bill? I thought they already did something to do with that to make sure that every property
they're supposed to.
Yeah,
they're supposed to. So the legislation which lays out the government's attempt to overcome the building safety crisis following the Grenfell fire disaster in 2017 has faced opposition from peers in recent months, but have agreed before the end of the parliamentary session that the bill details how leaseholders caught up in the crisis will be protected from paying for repair. If them really was going to make the leaseholders pay for the repairs of the building where they live, where they was living. I mean, you have to wonder.
But they weren't living in somewhere that was safe in the first place. So why?
Isn't it?
That don't make no sense.
Well, the government don't make no sense.
No logic at all.
Okay, so Building Safety Minister Lord Stephen Greenhalgh said that the bill brings in the biggest changes in building safety legislation in our history. He added that the bill will bring waterfall protection in which developers will be required to pay for repairs first. Oh, right. So, gosh almighty, what a twist and a turn. Followed by building owners and then costs only falling on the leaseholders if the full costs of redemptions are not met. Oh, it doesn't protect a lot of the leaseholders who have already paid huge sums of money on things like walking watches, fire alarms. I mean, you'd have thought the government would have, if you're in a building in a tower block, you wouldn't think it's the responsibility of the residents doing all that.
No, definitely not.
I don't know.
Because they're not the actual owners. Could be.
No, but they have a joint. Well, it depends on how they do it. I would have thought in the public domain, if it's you got public-private, yeah.
Yeah.
So from a point of view that just within the private realm, if you have a block of flats, okay, well you buy your individual flat, and then you've got a requirement of keeping up the building. And therefore,
I understand that.
There's a yearly charge.
Yeah,
that everybody contributes to fulfill that requirement.
Mm.
So is it the same kind of thing?
Well, similar. It sounds like I'm going to have to dig a bit deeper into that and then probably come back on the next show. Right. But yeah, that just seems a little bit dodgy to me.
But
I mean, you did say what I read earlier on about the government.
When you're ready with them, what they're going to say? Oh, don't you know we're still in austerity?
Dear Jesus!
Might come with some foolishness like that.
Oh my God!
I mean, my biggest one is the health and care bill. So basically, the health and care bill is reconstructing parts of the NHS. So it's going to be ICS, which is Integrated Care System. And funny thing, for the last couple of years, literally the last 2 years, I'm not going to lie, I've been hearing more and more about the NHS going into privatization than I ever have in the 20 years I've worked for the NHS. So it looks like we are heading that way. So it's going to focus on reconstructing parts of the NHS in England to create a more localized system with less central bureaucracy.
Wow.
By that alone, there's on.
It looks like a subject for next month.
Definitely.
I mean, the time's running away with us already. We've only got sort of 15 minutes left of the show.
Okay.
Is that correct? I'm going to play a track and then we'll come back and obviously need to let listeners know who's coming up next.
Most definitely. We're going to have to talk about.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes. And something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Lovely day, 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 lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face. When someone else instead of me, they always seem to know the way. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Oh, baby, just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Oh, it's gonna be, yes, a lovely day, a lovely day. A lovely day, baby. Oh, a lovely day. Oh, baby, yeah. When I walk down the street, baby, you got me feeling all like I'm on cloud nine. I'm shining. Everybody that I see, they say, well, girl, you looking fine, and that's alright. It's right on time, my baby. You got me. I'm feeling. Baby, you got me feeling happy, baby. Just like your brown eyes.
And that was Jill Scott, Lovely Day in the mix. And we're gonna play another track just before we go and say our goodbyes and let everybody know what else is going on. Play another track for you, Davido.
My money, my body, now your own.
Is that we body?
If I tell you, say I love you, oh. My money, my body, now your own, oh baby. 30 billion for the account, yo. Yeah, Versace and Gucci for your body, oh baby. No do, gotta for me. No do, say that, oh. No do, shakara, oh, eh. No do, gotta for me, oh, eh. Girl, you're beautiful, my number one in tutu. Sipping bruku tutu. For your love, it tutu. I go chuku. Pico up your nuju. Say you do me juju. Cause I'm feeling the juju. Shake it to you, take it. I wanna dash it to you, take it. You can have it to you, take it. You know I got this in you, take it. I love you. There's nothing above you. Above you. Reject you. I like your mini skirt, you. Okay, you carry fancy, you. If I tell you, hey, I love you, oh. My money, my body, now your own, oh baby. 30 billion for the account, yo. Yeah, Versace and Gucci for your body, oh baby. No do, gotta for me. No do, said I know. No do, shakara, oh, eh. No do, gotta for you, oh, eh. Girl, you're beautiful, my number one in tutu. Sipping bruku tutu, for your love it tutu. I go chuku. Biko obianuju, say you do me juju. Cause I'm feeling the juju. And you know say nobody holy, but I don't go tell you story. I gotta be your man, I gotta be your man. Let me talk to you, say a few things. Girl, I'm feeling you, but it's up to you. Say you know I got this. I love you. There's nothing above you. There's nothing above you. Be jetty, you. I like your mini skirt, you. Okay, you carry fancy, you. If I tell you, say I love you, oh. My money, my body, now your own, oh baby. 30 billion for the account, yo. Yeah, Versace and Gucci for your body, oh baby. No do, gotta for me. No do, said I know. No do, shakara, oh, eh. No do, gotta for you.
Your favorite boy, Techno on the beat.
Mix monster.
And we're back. It definitely has gone fast today. Just to let you know what's coming up next. So after us today at 5:00, you have the reggae and dancehall show, DJ Shocks in the mix. And then 8:00, you've got a Saturday night party with DJ AJ. So that's a new US and UK hip hop, R&B, and grime. And 10 p.m. tonight, you have Saturday night reggae mix. And then obviously you have from 1:00 through to the morning, we have GFM in the mix. I must say, this Saturday has gone really, really fast.
It's
Yes, it
flying.
has. That's right.
There's been obviously a lot of topics that we've gone over today.
We haven't covered all of them either.
Exactly. We couldn't even get through. There's just been so much to obviously talk and discuss and debate, and just trying to squeeze in the music on top, basically. But yeah.
So we carry them over. So we're going to carry them over to the next show. The
Oh, most definitely. Because
I think so.
Yeah, because some of the stuff we was going to talk about is quite interesting and important and relevant. So most definitely.
So does anybody want to have got any shout outs or anything before we go and we pass over to DJ Shocks?
Well, I just want to big up my mum and dad because I'm so blessed that I still got my parents and I acknowledge that. Of course, I want to big up my boys, DJ Cage and Creptic, aka Punchy Face. I want to also big up my two grandsons, Jamar and oh my gosh, I just stop it. Wait, got Jamar and Jaheem, of course, because there's so many Jet in my family. Sometimes, I'm calling everybody by the same name, believe you me. And of course, I want to big up my siblings and most definitely want to big up my fam and my friends. Most definitely. Big up to you all.
Yeah, big up to all the fam, young and old, nice ones and keep good all.
Okay, I just want to say a big up to Leah. You definitely helped me out big time yesterday. So I want to say thank you very much for helping me. And to all my family and friends as well that have tuned in. And also to all the silent listeners as well. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to play another track for you before we go on our way out. As they're just pure ramping in the studio right now. and it's confusing me.
You're confusing yourself.
I know
You're
exactly.
rapping, like we're rapping,
I don't need a lot to be to get confused, to be truthful. But yeah. A second.
You ever left my side? It'd be like taking the sun from the sky. I'd probably die without you in my life, 'cause I need you to shine your light. Oh, you're everything to me. Hey, the air that I breathe. Oh, my sight so I see. Oh, Lord, yeah, you're everything to me. Oh,
96.6 FM.
I can't repay you for all that you've done.
You're here
Always
with Black is
first
Beautiful,
and
Sister Becky, and Sister Ebony. Make sure you don't go nowhere.
Is equal to 10. My peace, my boy, if you ever left my side, it'd be like taking the sun from the sky. I'd probably die without you in my life, 'cause I need you to shine your light. Oh, you're everything to me. Hey, the air that I breathe. Oh, my sight so I see. Oh, Lord, yeah, you're everything to me. Oh, I can't repay you for all that you've done. Always come first and second to none. The love you give me is equal to 10. My peace, my joy, you are my strength. Oh, you're everything to me. Oh, the air that I breathe. Oh, my sight so I see. Oh, that you're everything to me. Boy, I never thought I'd feel like this.
They act illegally and can make your situation much worse. So talk to Gloucestershire Credit Union instead.
A local, ethical, not-for-profit credit union, and they could help you take control of your debt. Find out more at glosscreditunion.org.uk. Report a loan shark and access support
at stoploansharks.co.uk.
Love One, Love All Promotions present the Elegant Dinner, Show and Dance. Saturday, 4th of June at the H Suite, Edgbaston, Icknield, Port Road, Birmingham. Doors open at 6 for a red carpet champagne reception. At 7, it's dinner and comedy from Curtis Walker and Pingway. Then from 10 till 2 a.m, the Show and Dance. Starring live Gerald Thompson.
So sorry.
And Janet Kay.
Bring the sun out.
Music from Love Injection and Jemmy Magic. alongside Father Obis, Jenny P, Dolphins Massigan and Mikey D. It's all hosted by Robbie G and Eddie Nestor. Tickets online from shoobs.com and Eventbrite or from usual outlets. VIP tables available. Call 07860 292 454.
GFM is supported by Hucklecote Accounting and Taxation Services, Davies Building Maintenance, Stantex Electronics, AM/PM Design and Print, and Gloucestershire Community Foundation.
When I show this one to your socks, you're bound to get chicken pox. Whether you're a dreadlocks or you're an orthodox, all you have to do is sit back and relax. You should.
A long time me a sing and me no sing no yeah. Give me little rhythm, make me sing one quick.
Have mercy, Lord. Me say me go channel one, we go sing a little song, and them say a hit song, they not to sing a hit song. Say they not to sing a hit song. Me say we sing a song a sixpence.
Listen up to the GFM radio station.
Love One, Love All Promotions present the Elegant Dinner, Show and Dance. Saturday, 4th of June at the H Suite, Edgbaston, Icknield, Port Road, Birmingham. Doors open at 6 for a red carpet champagne reception. At 7, it's dinner and comedy from Curtis Walker and Pingway. Then from 10 till 2 a.m, the Show and Dance. Starring live Carol Thompson.
So sorry.
And Janet Kay. Music from Love Injection and Jemmy Magic. Alongside Father Obis, Jenny P, Dolphins Massigan and Mikey D. It's all hosted by Robbie G and Eddie Nestor. Tickets online from shoobs.com and Eventbrite or from usual outlets. VIP tables available. Call 07860 292 454.
GFM is supported by Hucklecote Accounting and Taxation Services, Davies Building Maintenance, Stantex Electronics, AM/PM Design and Print, and Gloucestershire Community Foundation.
TCO are proud to present Grammy Award-winning artist Ashanti alongside Trey Songz and Mario, celebrating the 20th anniversary of the release of the hit single Foolish at Birmingham's Utilita Arena on Wednesday the 1st of June. Tickets are on sale now from theticketfactory.com or ticketmaster.co.